Finally.
Hey.
Hey, I'm not used to all this technology, babe.
Number 30.
Oh, how you guys doing?
Great to see your face.
Excellent.
Yeah, great to see you. Great to see you. Happy Sunday.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, yes. Glad I woke up to it.
The West is the best. We've heard.
Oh, yes.
So, Ronnie, I'm gonna start. The first time we met, let me see. I either was a senior or a junior in high school, and you came in to be our master of ceremony for Special Olympics. And I think Coach Farias and Al picked you up from the airport. You were playing for Detroit. Picked you up at the airport, brought you back to the high school. Maybe you spent half a day, and then you had to, get back to get ready for a game. But that was the first time I met you, man.
Wow.
It was brief. It was brief, but it was in and out.
That's a great first story, though, Mike.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good time.
That was many moons ago.
Yes, it was.
You guys are old.
Yeah, we all are, man. No doubt. No doubt.
I've reached a certain age and I forgot how old I am now.
That's right.
Now, Ronnie Lee, and Mike, that's so cool that you're playing for Detroit and you came back to your high school. We have footage where Coach Farias is telling us Jack McCluskey, is that McCluskey, the GM?
McCluskey, yeah.
McCluskey for the Pistons said that watching you play defense and dive on the floor and change the tempo of games made them go after guys like Mahorn and that whole bad boy era. You were kind of pre-cursed.
Yeah, they didn't have it then. Everybody that I played with, basically John Long, those guys were shooters, so they didn't have to do that.
Yeah. Do the plumbing.
So I mean, Jack told me, he goes, I remember what he said. He goes, as long as I'm here, you're going to be on this team. And I should have had it. I should have had it in writing.
Yeah, we've learned that over the course of our lives a few times.
That's right.
Oh yeah. It's part of the business. I mean, it's you got to take it that way. You can't take it personal. You can take it personal, but it's part of the business. No matter what you do, you have to accept the consequences or whatever they send you.
Yeah,
so that's
sure.
So, Magic, we wanted Oregon. How did Oregon get on your radar?
Well, what happened? I guess what happened was Coach Harder saw me at I think a basketball camp that normally we would go to every summer. Okay, I can't think of the name of the basketball camp, but we would go there, team and stuff. And I guess he saw me diving on cement. I guess I was good for his program, So, I mean, I went out there. I was going to go visit, I think, Florida. If I would have stayed home, I would have went to UMass. I would have tried UMass, I think.
Dr.
I went to Florida, and the time I was supposed to go, I think they had a hurricane. So I said, nope, that's not for me. So,
wow.
It was process of elimination, and I thought I was going to get a chance, like my brother Russell. When he got these letters, he was going to go visit the schools. So my father said, no. I think I got about 200 letters. So he says, pick 3. I go, what? So Florida was one, UMass, and then in Oregon. And then when I went out there, I just, I did all I could do, I think, being in Massachusetts as a player.
Yeah.
And I thought going somewhere else, like Oregon, my mentality was that they're in the Pac-8 at that time. They're playing UCLA, which is the best team in the country. Yeah. And I said, what better exposure could you not get by playing against UCLA, USC, and Stanford? And then I'm on a team that is at the bottom. So I had nowhere else but go up.
Yeah.
Good politics.
And I took it as a challenge. I mean, I liked the place. I liked the people. I liked the program. Before I realized what he was doing in it, then I don't know, maybe I'm going to change my mind. Because when I first, I think at that time, freshmen could play varsity basketball at the time when I went there. So I was lucky. So So what happened, I was on the JV team the first day. So I went up and watched the practice for the varsity, and I saw the way they practice. I'm like, oh my God, no, I want to stay on JV, because I mean, he was really, if you're talking about practice, you're talking about dedication, he did everything. I mean, he was a military guy. And
So
I think,
back then, colleges had a varsity and a JV.
yes,
that's
yeah,
weird.
at that time, yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
I think for his program, I think he went out to get special guys for that program, because for the way he practiced us, you had to be dedicated to that program or you wouldn't even stay that long. Okay.
What was Coach Stan like? That's like we never really knew Coach Stan in the whole
Coach
story.
Stan, well, I mean, he was. I remember one time he wasn't gonna. I think I had a peach fuzz, a little beard and a thing, and he wasn't gonna let me play.
That's
Okay.
funny.
Yeah, he said if you don't shave that off, you can't play. Okay.
Wow.
And I remember going to a game, and I'm like, well, I'm not gonna shave it off and stuff like that. But then and then my host parents, they go, hey, if you want me to, we can take him to court. I go, no, I don't want to go that far. So I guess in that game I ended up shaving it, and then I ended up playing. But for being a science teacher, I don't think anybody expected him to do what he did.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Because here's a guy who was teaching science, and all of a sudden he comes in, and I mean, we worked hard. I mean, he did the right things. We had the right players, right attitude. Nobody was really trying to, I think, outdo everybody. It was just everybody had their roles. And for me, mine was just to have fun and play basketball. Yeah. Okay. And I was kind of surprised because, I mean, I was a better baseball player than I was basketball.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Wow. So I was an athlete, you could say, because, I threw the javelin for, Lexington. I threw it 234 feet. And I did soccer. I did all that. So basketball, I think I just got into it at that time, because I really wanted to play football at the high school. But somehow Coach Mass talked my father into not letting me play. and I said, if I could have snuck into football games and get one uniform, I would have done it.
Yeah.
Because I wanted to hit somebody.
Yeah, boy. Yeah.
Were they good back then, the football team?
They weren't that bad.
Yeah.
They had Jack. Jack. I know I just can't think of it. He was the quarterback, and then you had a couple of guys who played football, who played on the basketball team. Okay. So they weren't that bad, So, but like I said, I enjoyed any type of sports that I was playing.
So because we went down to Jupiter where Danny Holbrook was, and thank you, Danny, helped put this whole thing together, and talked to Rolly.
Okay.
You call me Yoda. He looked like Yoda at that point.
Yeah.
He was real small, talking to guys that were the tallest people you've ever seen in your life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Schooling them around. But he talked about how your dad kind of was watching Rolly coach your older brother. In Boston, and that was kind of the initial connection.
Yeah, that was a connection that they had, and then, like I said, I registered for the MECO program.
Yeah, what year was that for MECO?
That had to be 72, around 72, around 69, I think.
69.
Because I graduated
when did that program start?
66. Started in 66.
Yeah.
Mike did the MECO movie.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Two of them.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. How'd that come
out? Came out pretty well, man. It's been out there for a few years, and I graduated in '83.
Okay.
I played under Farias. I was a captain back in the early '80s.
Oh,
but,
yes. He was a character.
He's a character. But listen, every Blue Room talk, he always started with your name, man. He always brought you up. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, this is why
the history's strong.
I'm poor. I'm poor because I paid him to do that. I said, "Oh, serious. Whatever you do, keep my name in there, okay?
Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling.
Yeah, keep it rolling. Yeah.
Keep it rolling. Yeah.
Yes.
But the whole sport thing though, you said you were better in baseball than the other sports, and that's kind of interesting because I played a lot of baseball growing up, and then
Yeah,
basketball just kind of just the draw, you know what I mean? The
yeah,
the crowd and the excitement, and
hmm
then all my buddies in the city, we all switched from baseball in
yeah,
middle school to just hardcore basketball year round. It just took you. But the whole thing with football, same thing, man. Farius and I had a long talk about getting on the gridiron, and Coach
yeah.
Ty would try to pull me, and Farius was like, "Man, we got captain's practice. Not gonna happen.
Yeah,
It's just not
yeah.
gonna happen." Don't
But
even
you
think
probably should
about
have
it,
played.
man.
Uh-huh.
Dude, it would have been
Mm.
fun, just
All
like
the
Ronnie said,
sports.
just to get out there and just
Yeah,
Yeah,
bang it
I
up.
mean,
right.
You
yeah, you're
know?
in high school and you and
Yeah.
everything, so it had some good experience. The first year with Coach Mass was, I remember I was, through the medical program, I had, your host parents
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But sometimes I stayed over his house. So I guess one of the practices, he was really ticked off. So he's so mad he threw out he took out of his teeth and threw them
His
out.
teeth? Oh, shit.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm like going, oh, and I'm like going, and I had to stay with him that night. Okay. So I'm like going, oh my God. So as soon as I got to his house, I went right into the bedroom and I stayed there. Okay.
Yeah.
Then he goes, well, dinner's ready. And so I was in there and he goes, well, you better stay in there. I'm like,
Oh,
okay.
no.
But after that, it's like, I know what type of coach he was, which really helped me along the way,
Yeah.
just being the way he is. And I saw the pictures that when he was coaching the NAI, he never changed. He was the same way from the time I saw him, and until I saw him when he was coaching up to the NAI school.
There was a funny clip with Ronnie Lee. Excuse me, you're Ronnie Lee, with Coach Mass years ago. He was coaching. Danny, you might have been there in Florida. They played Kentucky early in the season, like a late November game, and they lost by 100 points. And a reporter asked Rolly, they go, "How do you think you would do if you were the coach of this Kentucky team?" And Rolly just started laughing. He goes, "How would I do if I was coaching this Kentucky team? I'd never lose a game." Hey, how I do. He started physically crying. It's a great clip.
Oh yeah. Well, he came out to Oregon because we played Villanova, and so he came out, and we're playing him, and we're kicking the crap out of him, and all of a sudden, I'm like going, why are we still playing? The starting five. The coach kept us in the whole game. Okay.
Wow.
And I'm like going, what could I say? So I had to have dinner with him afterwards. I said, okay. So we went out to dinner and he was fuming, you could see steam coming out, and then he goes, I have enough nerve to take you out of Oregon and transfer you to Villanova. I go like, yeah, that's going to happen. I said, you left me the first time. But then I found out that when Coach Harder was coaching Penn State, they played Villanova, and Villanova kicked the crap out of them. So it had nothing to do with Coach Mast. It had something to do with the school. So, and he never forgot it. So.
Yeah. So, Ron, I had a question about the Boston Six, and I just to piggyback on what Mike said earlier. I played for Bob. I graduated in '94. I played with Carl, and growing up in Lexington, we always heard these stories. And there were some great teams that went through Lexington, but it was always those Ronnie Lee teams that everybody always talked about.
Yeah.
And then I grew up going to the Boston Shootout, and that was like the mecca where it was pre-AAU, and it started with the Boston Six and with that great group of local talent that you played with.
Yeah.
Did you guys know at the time that you would have this big sort of impression on Boston basketball that would last for decades, really? Because that really started this great national tournament.
Yeah, not really. Not really. We just, we played. We represented Massachusetts and stuff, but not knowing that it was going to be that big. Knowing that it was the beginning of that. Because like I said, you had Carlton Smith, you had Gaskins. I mean, you had, like I said, you had all those players, which basically I think I had less talent than all of them.
I don't know.
Truth. No,
we disagree.
No, because I mean, like I said, I was an athlete, and I looked at my way, and for me to do what I had to do, because I wasn't a good shooter, because I wasn't a good ball handler, because I had to do all those small little things that they didn't have to do. Okay. And they've always, like they said, I was always the first one to get to the basketball.
Yeah.
And it's almost like when it was time to go to college, every single one of them stayed in Massachusetts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. And they all should have left Massachusetts. Ken Gaston shouldn't have went to Holy Cross.
Yeah.
Okay.
We were just talking
about that.
Yeah, we were just talking about that, especially with Oregon. Like, you nailed that decision, and we see that time again. We see that play itself out again with some of the late '80s and early '90s stars. Stay home in Boston, does not work. You gotta leave.
It doesn't work. Like I said, I mean, mine was more or less a challenge. If somebody would tell you the truth, if somebody would have asked me if I was shooting for pros, it really wasn't. I just loved the game. Okay. And I did everything I possibly could, and I loved it. And, even when I got the pros, it wasn't about the money. It was about, having a dream that every kid would like to have. And I was there, like playing against Havlicek, playing against, all those guys that I looked up to, and stuff like that, or playing with Pistol Pete, Spencer Haywood, so that was like, I'm like, I was excited, but I had to kind of be, kind of cool. Hey, how you guys doing?
I gotta ask, did you have a welcome to the NBA moment where, like, wow, I'm in the NBA playing against Havlicek? Or was there a moment where the talent was, you're just in awe of where you were?
I think it was. I mean, especially like going to New York, playing against Walt Frazier, Earl the Pearl, and learning all these things that I'm like, when I played defense on Earl, I said, damn, I said, you can carry the ball that much?
I mean, the precursor to the modern day NBA.
Yeah, he was carrying it. I said, dang, I said, no, I didn't think anybody could do that. So it just, it was just funny just to see all those small little things. And Wes Unseld was probably one of the biggest guys I ever seen set a screen you could never get around.
Yeah.
And then you play against Calvin, like you said, you play against guys that you were watching when you were in high school or college, and all of a sudden you're there. And I don't really think that you're there, but you just do your job. I just enjoyed the moment, and not knowing, like I said, it could go like that. So I just said, let me enjoy this moment. I'm here, I'm playing, I'm in the NBA, stuff like that. So, I was excited about it.
How many years were you in the NBA? And I don't remember whether the Suns was first or Detroit.
It was the Phoenix Suns first. And I played 2.5 years with them. And they said when you buy a house, it's like a bad omen. So I ended up buying a house, and I got a call from them and say, hey, we just traded you to New Orleans. I go, damn. So they traded me for Truck Robinson because they thought by having him that their team was going to go a little bit further, which basically I thought they needed a center. Okay, because you had Alvin Adam, who was only 6'9", right, playing center. So I think they needed a center, but so I went there. So all of a sudden I'm playing with Pistol Pete, Spencer Haywood, and so there was a guy named Marty Burns. I don't know if you know that. He went to Syracuse. Okay. So him and I got traded. So when they called me and they said, hey, we just traded you to New Orleans, I'm sitting in my car. So I get this knock on my window, and I said, it's him. So I rolled down and I said, how you doing? He goes, fine. I said, well, I just got traded. He says, I know, I'm going with you.
Split a cab.
You want to split a cab.
So him and I became friends, in a way that, when we went to New Orleans, because I'm so used to playing with a team that basically helps each other. When you get into the NBA, you find out that basically it's individual. And if they want to get off the team or another team, they want to score the ball a lot. Okay. So, nobody really get a chance to shoot that much, with Pistol there, like Spencer Haywood, Rich Kelly, so we're saying, what are we doing here? Okay. I said, maybe we should get hit by a car so we won't have to finish the season. So what happened, I went to Washington, D.C. I pulled my hamstring, so I'm out the second half of the season. Okay, so I got my wish,
Yeah.
So Marty Burns, he goes, I hate you, because he had to finish the rest of the season.
Oh, that must have been
Yep.
glorious.
Yeah.
Oh,
Every day. Sorry, Marty, I can't participate in this drill.
yeah, but this one though. So the New Orleans moved to Utah.
Yeah. How did Utah become the Jazz? There it is.
Yeah. So they became the Utah Jazz. So I end up, who's it? Dantley got traded there.
Adrian.
Okay,
That's right.
so then all of a sudden I get traded to Atlanta, and then in preseason. So Dantley saying, "Well, why are you going? You're the only one." I said, "I have this slight idea. Maybe the coach doesn't like me. He doesn't like the way I play. Because there's certain coaches who want certain players." So I get traded to Atlanta, and Marty Burns, from the time I get on the plane till the time he got cut.
Oh.
Okay, so
Man.
I'm playing with Atlanta, and I'm like going, "Oh yeah, we're going to the, this is the beginning of the season." But I said, they're so good, they're going to make the playoffs. So, we're into Hubie Brown, which is probably like my college coach, or Coach Mass. He's really hard on you and stuff. So then the second half of the season, I get traded to Detroit,
Crazy.
which is going back to New Orleans. But the irony of the whole thing is Marty Burns get picked up by who? Lakers.
Wow.
And who wins the championship that year? The Lakers. Okay, so I called him up, and I said, "What are you doing?" I said, I said, "I hate you. I don't like you anymore." And then I said, "Well, what are you doing?" He says, "I don't know about you, but I'm shining my ring."
God bless him.
I know. So all that crap, he ended up coming out ahead.
Man.
Did that experience turn you off to the NBA? Just the business side of it, where you just want to play ball, and then you just kind of getting traded to different cities?
No, it didn't turn me off. I think I was more or less naive about it at the beginning. Okay, that that you'd basically almost like a piece of meat. That that's just the business. That they're looking to do the best they can for their team. So if they have to trade somebody, regardless, then
and you were beloved in Phoenix, your first spot.
Yeah, I loved it there. I think it was probably the best team that fit me. Because I didn't really have to, go out and try to score. It just happened. There's games that I scored 31 points, 28, 10, whatever. But I knew you had Paul Westphal, Allen Adams, Curtis Perry, Garfield Hurd. You had those guys who were basically the original scorers.
Yeah.
So I did what I had to do. Diving for basketball, taking charges, and having fun. Okay, and that's what it was. It was just enjoying the moment. Okay.
Magic, can you show him the trading card, Mr. Prensky?
Oh, yeah.
Look at this.
I have this on my mantle. It's been there for about 10 years, but I have a
oh god,
Look at that.
1976 mint condition Topps card. So
oh my god,
that is amazing.
As you see, I was resting on that point. I was tired.
No, but they said they would have
contests. Like the minute drill, baby, on those knees.
Oh yeah. Oh god. Hey, don't even bring up the minute. Don't even bring up the
minute drills right there,
oh
boy.
god.
Right
those
there.
will stick with you.
They'll stick with you.
Oh, we did when I was with Coach Harder, we did the 7. We call it 17.
If you didn't get
drill of 17,
and you're done.
So ours was 3-hour practice. So all of a sudden we had to do a 17. Nobody, you could say 6 guys made it. The other guys on the line again.
I
think we did it 6 times in a row. And well,
it makes us feel better. That's why.
And all of a sudden we're in middle of the court. And he's at 59. So he goes 60. So I happened to be looking on the floor. I did not see 1 foot on the floor.
Oh.
Everybody dove for the line. I mean, we didn't make it, but and he goes, "That's all I wanted." Okay. And he goes, "Practice is over." We go, "Thank you."
Ryan, oh, please.
Oh, go ahead.
No, the funniest thing is that the host family turns right around and goes, we can sue them.
Yeah.
That killed me.
Yeah. He goes, do you want us to take him to court?
No.
Because I
Like, what? You're like, oh yeah.
I'm like going, huh?
Man.
So and so yeah, but I still keep in contact with them now. And then I don't know, Wayne Morrison, who used to play. Yeah, so I keep in contact with him. So now and then I call him.
Yeah.
I'm not the type of guy who calls somebody every day. I like to call maybe after every 5 years and go, hey, how you doing?
So, but he played with you guys, right? He was kind of in the mix with that Boston Six.
Yes, he was in the mix with the Boston Six. Yeah. And he was really good. I thought he was good. He was a good. I thought he was probably a better. If you're talking about ball handling and stuff, I think he was a better point handler than I was. Okay, so
at that point.
Yeah, at that point, yeah. So I mean, it's the thing about it. You never really had to use it. Like my son, okay, he's a lot better than I am. Okay.
Where's he? How old is he? What's going on?
He just turned 27. He played over in Spain for about 2 years.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay, and his is all talent. Mine, I had to work. I said the difference between you and me, son, is that I would run over your mother. You wouldn't. Okay. and that's the difference. Other than that, he's on pure talent, better ball handler, better shooter. And I was a little bit maybe stronger than he was, but other than that, like now I still play, or at least I get up and run up and down. But so now when I play against him, he goes, "Dad." I said, "Yes, son." I go, "Who's your daddy now?"
Holbrook, can you show him some of the pictures here?
Yeah.
There's and you saw these in the video we sent you. I think most of these. That's Keebs. Did you want to tell him how he inspired a generation? Oh, look at that, yeah.
Who's 45?
That's
it's a great question.
It's a great question. It's you to us.
Yeah. We I tell you what, that was up when I was at the high school, so I know that I know that picture pretty well.
Yeah.
It was always a running debate about who that was,
Maybe
I
it was
think
somebody after I left.
Well, there was a gentleman who was 2 years ahead of me, Marvin McIntyre. But
okay,
I remember the artist was
associated with you.
Yeah, he went to the artist. He was at Lexington High School when I was there, but I don't remember the whole background. But
yeah,
those definitely during my era that I was painting.
Okay, you
show
did
the
a good
senior
job,
night, Danny.
Ronnie, oh wow, look at that.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, same uniforms we had. Same uniforms. And jeez.
You mean the shorts were that short? That still?
Well, 78, they were still wearing that same damn uniform.
88, they were still short.
78, still wearing that damn thing.
92,
oh
they were still short.
With the little baby blues. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
Right, the baby blue. Yeah.
I like it. So who's is that Stan on the right?
No, that is. I want to say that's the principal.
Okay. And then the left.
I don't know his name, but I think that. And that left is my father.
That's I thought. Wow, there he is.
Wow.
Can you tell us about your dad? Where he grew up, Boston? A little bit about his story.
Well, his is that he's originally from Washington. He's from D.C.
Nice.
So he was a police officer, and if I'm not mistaken, he was the first black motorcycle police officer there in Boston.
Oh, and from DC. That's where I live now. I love it.
And I guess he used to was it when John F. Kennedy came that he used to go, I guess what I can't think of the word right now.
Like the motorcade?
Escort him. He used to escort him, and stuff like that. So, and then I mean he could not play basketball.
But he loved it.
Yeah, he was what we call a hacker. So, and if I ever played on the same, I mean, if I ever played basketball, I will always have him on my team because I know I would not get hurt. Good softball player. He fast pitched. He played football, bowling and stuff. And so he was an athlete himself, except for basketball.
Wait, so he grew up in DC?
Yeah, he grew up in DC and he came to Boston. And I think my mother was there, but I was hoping that she would have came down, but she didn't.
Okay.
Okay. So she was there, and so she met, he met her. And my mother had my oldest brother, Gene, at 15. So, Gene was a point guard, which I think if he didn't get to a motorcycle accident in Marshall, he probably had a good chance of making pros, I think.
Wow.
And then Russell, he ended up going to Marshall, the same school as my older brother went. And then he ended up getting drafted by the Milwaukee Bucks when Kareem was there and Oscar Robertson.
So what were those games like as a kid? What were the basketball games in the Lee household as you were growing up? They must have been pretty competitive.
Yeah, it was. It's basically me and my third oldest brother. I mean, we used to use street signs for basketball hoops, which when I thought about it now, these days, it was kind of stupid because they had metal street signs and we used to dunk on each other. Okay. Or we'd get a plywood, bang it to a tree and put a hoop there and play.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
So, and then we went down, and as playing in the asphalt, not having any nets. So that was the toughest. And you know how bad the humidity is in Boston. So going in the summertime trying to play basketball, And then I guess we played on a lot of times we played at the ice skating rings. On the cement.
Let me ask you, in this picture, what kind of sneakers were you wearing, man, back then? What are those?
I want to maybe say
and those
Converse.
are Chuck Taylors. Are they cons? What? There was nothing else.
There was nothing else.
Still, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you didn't have Converses, you wanted a player.
Right.
Did you roll up your socks in tribute to your dad in DC basketball? Everybody in DC rolled up their socks.
Well, we used to wear what they call snowbirds.
Okay, what's that?
It's just a thick sock that, you just push it down. And then ours was like sometimes putting a different color shoestrings in your shoes.
Nice.
Okay.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, the Converses was around, I would have maybe say around $12 then.
Yeah, huh?
Yeah, they were cheap.
It was still Converse though in the 70s because I feel like that was it in the 60s and the 50s.
Yeah, so I don't even. They were canvas, dude. They were canvas. They weren't even leather yet. They weren't even leather yet.
And if you bought a pair of canvas now, it would cost you a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I knew that, I'd have kept all my canvas shoes.
Danny, throw up another photo. One of the clippings. Oh, there! Look at this.
Oh, see, there's the peach fuzz.
We can sue him. No, Ma, you don't have to. No, Ma, you don't have to sue.
And there's the afro.
Perfect.
Which I was surprised my father let me have it. Because him being a police officer, he wanted us to have what they call a Caballos haircut, which is basically all your hair cut off.
Yeah.
So and like I said, had to do what he said.
Yeah.
We'd be in trouble. So.
And so Rolly was only there your freshman year.
He was there my freshman year, and then he ended up leaving. And then I talked to let me see, Andy. The guy on the left-hand side on top, Andy Freitas. So I just got finished talking to him. I think Mondano, didn't he pass away?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he passed away. And Robin Bond, which I stayed over at his house sometimes, and Joe Cormier and Wong, so Glenn Wong.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I recognize all those players, and I couldn't believe how tall Mondano was.
How big is he?
55. How tall was that dude?
I want to say he was around 6'9" or 6'11".
Wow.
Yeah, so he was that. And then let me see. I think basically I was a freshman, and you had a couple of, I think, juniors, and everybody else was seniors.
Wow.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
and then between me, between me and Coach Mass is Tommy.
Oh, the son.
Yeah,
Oh,
it is
yeah.
Tommy. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Team mascot.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
Oh, that's funny. And so
I
did you
know.
stay in touch with Coach Max pretty much through it all, as much as you stay in touch?
I guess, the thing about it, sometimes you go your separate ways. You still keep in contact, but not as much as I think that you should. But, I think that's about life and anything, I mean,
Yeah.
from where you come from, you're going to different places. Like I said, I lived in Sweden for 22 years.
Make some noise for that.
Yeah, it was kind of hard to keep in contact with everybody over there. And then when I got to when I played in Italy for 3 years, you didn't really have the phones, the mobile phones that you have now. The place I was staying at, I had to ask the lady if I could use the phone, and then I had to. They had it out in the hall, so you really couldn't keep in contact as much as you want to.
While you're on that subject, I want to ask you a couple of questions, because when I was starting the process to put together the first documentary, my goal originally was to interview you and interview a few more folks. So I had different decades, right? The 70s,
Yeah.
80s, 90s,
Okay.
all the way to present. But I ran out of money, all that
Okay.
stuff costs money. And you might
Yes.
have been still in Sweden at the time. I don't know.
Okay.
I've been to Sweden. I've been to Stockholm 4 times because my
Oh, did
college
you?
roommate.
When?
Yeah,
What
my
year?
well, early 2000s, and then in the 90s. I went a few times in the 90s too. My roommate in college, his
Okay.
mother, he was half Swedish and half
Oh, wow.
African.
Okay.
And he said, "Man, you got to get to Sweden. You got to get to Sweden one of these days."
Yeah.
I went there once,
Okay.
and I know you know this, but as soon as I got off the plane and went to like downtown Stockholm,
Yeah.
it was on. I thought,
Yes.
I, I,
Yes.
let me be straight for a second. I met some
Yeah.
folks there in downtown Stockholm.
Uh-huh.
There were some brothers from the States, and I said, "Hey, how
Yeah.
long you been here?" One dude said, "Hey, man, I came here for vacation,
Yeah.
and I never went back." He said, he said I called home. I told him to send the rest of my stuff, and
Amen.
he said, "Hey, look, straight up, I feel like a king over here.
Yeah.
It's a different world." So I'm curious. Was it just basketball that drew you to Sweden, or had you been there before? Did you know what was the draw?
Well, what's so funny about it is that when I went to college, no, as a matter of fact, when I was in high school on the All-Star team, we went
Yeah.
to Sweden to play there. Okay.
Ah.
And the only thing I could remember about Sweden, like I said, not knowing that I was going to end up living there, was that we went on a tour on a boat. And so we're touring, and all of a sudden we're close to the rocks, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden people stood up, and I go, they have no clothes on. I'm like I go, damn, yeah.
Yeah.
Being an American, I'm like going, yes, I'm excited. Okay,
This is different.
so
Yeah.
but then after that, I left, went to college, met this girl who was our ball girl. She invited me over her house for dinner, and went over to dinner and met her parents, and we really became good friends. So all of a sudden, he's on the phone and he's speaking this language. I'm like going, I said, damn, what is that? He goes, oh, that's Swedish. And so he was from Sweden. Okay, so I'm like going, and then not knowing that I was going to end up in Sweden, because what happened was when I was on the tour team over in Europe, there's a guy named Ivan Duncan who was assistant coach with Nevada, Las Vegas, Takatin. Okay,
Yeah.
so he was on the tour team, and he was coaching a team in Sweden, and he just said, "Hey, do you want to come over and play?" And I go, "Yeah." So I just went over there and played, not knowing what it was like.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so went there, liked it, met my wife there. Okay, I found out that for me, okay, personally, I think the women are a lot more aggressive in Sweden or Europe than they are in the States. I hate to say. They
There you
put it
go.
this way: if they want you or if they want to go out with you, they will let you know.
They let you know.
Okay, they
Yes,
let you know.
Perfect.
Okay. And you got a lot of Americans over there playing basketball because I told the guys, some of the Americans came. I said, I said, are you married? He goes, yeah. I said, bring your wife. Okay. If you don't bring your wife, you might get in trouble. And you know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're
Okay?
talking about, Mitch.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
Like
Okay.
I said, four times.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes. Yeah, because I was there in 2000.
yeah.
You know, I was still there. I think I went there in, let me see, my last year was 82, 82, 83, 83, 84, 84, 85, 85. Yeah, I was probably there in somewhere around 88, 89.
Had I known,
Yeah.
man, I would have looked you up.
Yeah,
You
you should have
know?
looked me up. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I played until I think I was still playing basketball over there until I was 45.
That's amazing. And the player coach too, that you Bill
Yeah.
Russell did at the end.
Yeah, that was interesting. Well, what was interesting was that when I coached the girls team, okay, you know how like as a coach, you like to give them like 5 minutes to be by themselves and stuff like that. So not knowing, because this was my first time, so I go in there, so I'm starting to talk and someone's not taking their clothes off. I go, wait a minute. I said, let me hurry up and talk to you guys so you guys can go in.
Be on the 5 and field minutes.
Huh?
That's funny.
Yeah, so it was a good experience. I think for me, anything outside the United States is a good experience to see how other people live and the adjustments that you have to make, and basically how good we have it. Okay.
Well, what was the difference between Phoenix and New Orleans when it came to just the progressive nature of people?
I don't know. I just felt more comfortable because I lived there. I lived in Sweden for in Phoenix for 2.5 years.
Yeah.
It's something you had to get used to. I stayed at the hotel the whole time when I was in New Orleans, so I wasn't too far from Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So for me, it really, I'm like that that Phil Collins song, "Wherever you lay my head's your home."
Yeah. Nice.
I just got so used to it. Like I said, going out to Lexington in the MECO program, staying out there. Okay. So the same thing, going to college. All right. So you had to get used to the environment that you were in.
Right.
Okay. So
what grade did you start in Lexington, the MECO program?
Ninth grade.
Ninth grade.
And that was high school?
That was high school, yeah. Yeah. That was the first time that freshmen could play varsity basketball also. So I don't know if you remember King Gaskins.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he started as a freshman too. So I think him and I did not meet into the finals of the championship our senior year.
Ooh.
Yeah. So he went to Catholic Memorial.
Yeah.
And they had a good team. And I would say probably out of the 6, he was a pure shooter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think his problem was that he went to Holy Cross because his coach became head coach there. And I think that was probably the worst thing he probably could have done. I thought he should have left Massachusetts and went somewhere else. So he ended up getting in trouble and stuff like that. And I think he ended up passing away. I think he drowned. He was helping underprivileged kids. And I think he was saving a kid doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. I remember the Globe did something about that, that whole story. It's crazy to think Holy Cross was in that realm of recruiting some of the best talent in the country. At the time.
Yes, they were.
For us in '93 is like, yeah.
I think they were in the MECO program, weren't they? Or
what's the name?
Holy Cross? Catholic Memorial. I'm sorry, Catholic Memorial.
No.
Okay.
So yeah. Well, look, there was a lot of towns that it was pitched, but they didn't fully accept.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
Winchester's no.
So he was recruited there. And was that a private school?
Catholic Memorial.
Yeah.
CM was part of the whole. They had their own little separate division, just Catholic schools like Xaverian,
Right.
Yeah, yes,
Xaverian
yeah.
Catholic Memorial. I can't
Yeah.
remember all of them, but they had their own little,
Yes.
yeah, they
Well,
did their
I
own
think it
thing.
was amazing that we probably started not thinking that what we was doing, we kind of were ahead of the AAU.
No, it's crazy. But do you think there were six
Right.
people in the world that could beat that Boston Six when you guys were 18 years old?
It was tough.
That were the same age. That were the same age. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was, tough because we had, different type of players. We had the offensive players, we had defensive players, we had all around players, and
Yes.
the talent was, I remember when we had when I first saw Adrian Dantley come over. I think he was at Washington. He was representing Washington D.C. I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I remember he went up and dunked the basketball, and then he lifted himself up and kissed the backboard. I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, oh, but you had some talent. We went to Pittsburgh. We went all over the place to play different teams.
Speaking of that, Dave Thompson?
David Thompson,
Thompson.
DT?
DT.
Did he play for the Suns? What did he play for?
No, he played. No, Walter Davis played for the Suns.
Walter Davis played for the Suns.
DT played for the Denver Nuggets.
There you go.
He played.
He inspired Jordan, right?
That man had some ups.
If I'm not mistaken, wasn't he the first one that did the 360?
I think he was the first one 360.
Yeah.
And they used to say he touched the top of the top of the backboard.
Yeah. That I would like to see, but hitting his head.
I like to see that. Yeah.
Hitting his head on the rim. Yes, he did. He could do that.
Hey,
Ron,
let me ask you this:
were you in the first NBA dunk contest? Because I think the first one was maybe 76. Was that the first one?
I was in. I think I was in the 76. Is he 76 or 77? 77, 78.
Yeah. Larry Nance, maybe, and
that's awesome.
Okay, I was before Larry Nance. I was with a guy named Donnell Hillman. I want to say he played for the Indiana Pacers. This guy could jump. His brother could jump. Oh, he could jump.
Hey, Ronnie.
Huh?
Did you ever play with this name? I'm asking because I played with his son growing up in Boston. Jimmy Walker.
Mm.
Oh, no, Jimmy Walker. Well, Jimmy Walker was before us. He played
before you. Okay.
Yeah, he would have probably played with. He went to
Providence.
Providence, right?
Yes, he went to Providence. Yeah, he was ahead of us.
Okay.
He was in my brother's era, I think. His class, I think, or something like that. Yeah.
Well, his son's name is Steve Malloy. He played with me growing up in Boston, and then Steve went to Don Bosco, and then the Cleveland State. Yeah, but he always talked about his father back in the. Oh, actually, his father, Jimmy Walker, is the father of him and the dude who's on TV now. Jalen Rose. That's right. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And Bob Ryan just wrote an article that it was the first time that he ever saw someone crossover dribble was Jimmy Walker in Roxbury in whatever the year was, and he did it without breaking stride, and it was like this thing that stuck with him for all this time. But it was a little bit before.
Yeah, it was a little bit
Riley
before. Like Bonds, bad news, Bonds. Yeah, it was like that. Yeah. So you had some fantastic. You had Steve Struthers, who played. So you had a lot of basketball. Was this Jay Anderson? I want to say he played for Hyde Park High School. Now this guy, you talk about, he could probably dunk just standing still underneath the rim.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you had Bob Bigelow.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
Winchester.
That's big. Winchester.
Bigelow,
Yes. Now he could dunk. I'm like, yeah.
Did you dunk in games? In high school.
You know what?
In high school.
I can't remember dunking in high school, to tell you the truth. I don't even think about dunking in high school.
Yeah.
Because we couldn't do it in college.
Right.
So, and I wish we could have, but we didn't, and I think they brought dunking back, I think 2 years after I graduated.
You had to go to the ABA for that.
Oh, yeah. I almost went, but I didn't. I stayed in school. I could have went my junior year. If I knew
that's awesome.
If I knew they were going to merge, my senior year, I probably would have went.
Wow.
Yeah.
At least you have some negotiation against them and stuff like that. So, but and then I was gonna after I got cut from Detroit, I was gonna play indoor soccer professionally.
Hmm.
So I was gonna try for, I think it was called the Tacoma Stars in Seattle. So I was
That's
gonna play
who can do that? I'm just gonna pick up this new sport after my NBA career.
Oh, he played in high school, man. He was something else.
Oh, really?
Now, who was your high school soccer coach? Because I know this. I know the story. I know the story
I don't
about
even know, to tell you the truth. Because I
Yeah.
think I
Were
only
you
played
a
soccer.
goalie?
Yeah, I was. Oh yeah,
You're a goalie, right?
yeah. That way I could hit
Wow.
people. That's the only position you get and hit somebody and get away with it.
In soccer.
You know, so I mean, I could have. I mean, I got drafted in college, my senior year, and then what's so funny about it? I got drafted. San Diego Chargers drafted me.
Unbelievable. What position do you think you would have played?
I don't even know. Defensive end. I'm not too sure. As long as it was a position that somebody was coming towards me and I can hit him. Okay.
Yeah, you just wanted to-
I'm not a violent man, but I just like contact sports.
Now, did the Chargers tell you they're going to draft you? Did you have any idea that you were going to get drafted by the NFL, or was it a total surprise?
I think it was a surprise because I think, during that time they had how many drafts? 12
Yeah.
rounds?
Yeah, 2 weeks.
So I think they would have drafted Sister Teresa just to get the draft in there. But it's good on the resume. It's so funny. I go to the Oregon has, a place where you can go see where they have all the draft picks and stuff like that. And it's so funny that I can go see a duck hanging up there with my name on it in football. I'm like, well, yeah. So that's the weirdest thing and stuff like that. So, but
That's cool.
yeah, because they just got finished building a unbelievable track stadium here.
Yeah.
And they're going to use it for the Olympics. So they're sponsored by Nike, so they got a good backing.
Danny, can you flash the picture of him and Bill Walton? We have a few more pictures, just because that arena in Oregon. I mean, how fun was that to play those home games in the Pac-8 against the stars that were there at the time in that era?
It was they just built a new arena called Matt Arena, and Phil Knight named it after his son because I guess his son passed away. And even though it's up to date as everything, we played that. Yeah, as you can see, my freshman. If you can see this, my freshman year. This is how many people we got every single game.
Wow.
We sold out the place. And see that the scoreboard?
Yep.
It shook.
Wow. Look at that.
So the crowd was so loud that they shook the backboard. So when the visitors would come, the visitors would look at the backboard to see if it might fall down.
That's Jamal Wilkes right there, isn't it?
That's Jamal.
That's Jamal Wilkes.
And that's Lee. I can't remember his oh God. Lee something. I can't think of his name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at the Chucks too.
Oh yeah.
The low cut Chucks.
Chucks, baby, Chucks.
They have the no ankle support.
It was so funny about that. I don't know if that was my first hook or second hook. If that was my first one, he blocked the first one.
Oh, look at the air time there too.
So on your team, Ron, you had some, Stu Jackson went on to do some great things in the NBA and coaching. Ernie Kent coached the team for a while.
Yes.
And you had some that was an amazing, you had sort of on the heels of Steve Prefontaine and Oregon. And that was for the 70s.
Yeah. I mean, it was, like I said, I mean, I think Prefontaine was a senior when I was a freshman, but, like I said, getting Stu, Ernie in there, stuff like that. And, that's why I said I was surprised that I did what I did, because, I mean, you're getting different players from different, states, just as good as you or even better, and my idea was just to go out there and just challenge, just the competitiveness of doing it. And it just happened. Like I said, it just happened. So, and there's a guy named, his name is Cowboy Little. He was a senior when I was a freshman. And we both averaged the same score, the same assists, the same rebounds that year. So, but that was a fantastic. I never been in a stadium yet that gave me that much of a rush.
That's unbelievable. And you played 4 years.
Yeah, played 4 years. Yeah, 4 years.
Pac-8 Player of the Year, your senior year.
Yeah, I don't know how, but I did it.
That's just such a great environment. I mean, that you just think as an athlete, that's all you want is to play in a crowd like that when you're home.
Yes.
In college.
Yes. Well, I mean, if you look at it, I mean, I showed my son that they showed some. That I looked at the yearbook of Lexington. I mean, we filled the place up. I mean, there's a lot of a lot of people for a high school game now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Changed the whole town. Did a lot for property values too.
I didn't see that in my bank account. Wait a minute.
Yeah, exactly. You owe a check for real.
No, I mean, like I said, everything that I've done is an experience, good or bad. It was a good experience. It's something that you can look back at, so, and so like I said, I looked at the MECO program, gave me an opportunity to go get a better education and stuff like that, and, meet people and everything else. So that just added on, so, yeah. And I, like I said, I appreciate all that. It's something you don't forget. Put it that way.
Yeah, and it goes by quick too, right? And I just turned 45. I'm like, man.
Yeah,
halfway to 90.
Well, it's like I can't believe I'll be 70 next year. So it's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you're in good shape. So
well, I try to be. Like I said, I play basketball 3 days out of the week and tennis 2 days, and then and trying to play with these young kids' voices. It's just something else, So
I gotta ask, when was, and be honest, when was the last time you hit the floor for a loose ball?
3 days ago.
Oh, ouch,
Good.
ouch,
Good.
ouch.
Okay.
Oh no, I
Thank
still
you,
do the same thing. I still take charges and dive for the basketball.
Really?
But the bad thing about it is I get up a little bit slower, and the guys go, and I hate it when they go, "Are you okay?" I go, "Leave me alone."
Yes.
Let me enjoy this while I can. So no, because these guys, they're young. They want to drive to the basket. I'll take a charge, and they said, "Well, we don't call charges out there." I said, "Wait a minute. If you're going to call a foul, I'm going to call a charge." Okay.
Yeah, right.
So you could. This is part of the game. I said, I'm not going to let you just run through me and not take it. Screw that. So we have our debates.
Yeah.
But
I love
like
it.
I said, I mean, I still do the same thing. I still take charges. I still die for the basketball. It's in my DNA.
But is it hard to watch the game on the professional level now, so geared towards the offensive player?
It's tough. I think they changed the game to satisfy the audience.
Yeah.
I don't like that 3-second area. I mean, where you can take charges.
Right.
I don't like where they took away where you can help out.
Yeah.
Because we learned to help out in the middle. Ball you
in
man.
The cover. Yeah. Ball you man.
Ball you man. Ball you man.
Yeah. And they took that away. So I think when I was playing, I'm in my opinion, I think it was a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more tougher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, without a doubt. You're being diplomatic.
Yeah. And I think they make it too easy for them because, I mean, if you're going to talk about a foul, my mentality is when they say, I don't mind the screen, but it's when you go by them, they stick that hip out to knock you a little bit off balance. See, my mentality is said, okay, you do it one more time, I'm going to try to dislocate your hip.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of because I said, I'm not going to sit there and get by the screen and all of a sudden I'm running and you stick your hip out and I'm going to do something to my leg.
Yeah.
Okay. And I mean, I just think it's totally because, I mean, look at it. If you're playing defense and you got your position, the guy can stick his shoulders into you and knock you out of your position. And they say, oh, you fouled him. I said, well, what do you want me to do?
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you want me to do? Okay, I already got my base in. He's knocking me off. So you're saying I can't fight back? Okay. I
Right.
said, well, why don't I just touch my ankles? You know, so that's, I mean, that changed, so like I said, they made it more entertainment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can't even watch the regular season. I have to wait to the playoffs before I even
Yeah.
take,
Yeah, it's
take,
like
take
hockey
the
now.
NBA serious because they don't show up. They don't play any D in the regular season.
Oh, no, they don't. They don't.
They wait to the playoffs and then they crank
But
it
I
up.
did love those 82 games, though. Oh, my
Mm.
God. It was nice because you didn't have to basically practice a lot. That's the thing
Yeah.
I liked
Yeah,
about it.
that's great.
Okay.
People kept scoring, you got paid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you got your per diem. I mean, you got 4 games in 6 days. I'm like, yeah, no practice.
No 17 and you're done.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the difference between European basketball. You only have 1 game or 2 games a week.
Ah,
So
a lot
you're
of practice.
practicing. Yeah. So it's a whole different mentality over there in coaching wise and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
When was
They
your
also-
last year overseas, Ron? What year did you stop playing professionally, officially?
When I came back to the States, because I was still playing. We had a American team that we played like a division. I want to say Division 1, which is the lower level team. The Elite Series is the highest team. I think we had a team that I worked and stuff. Then we just played. So and it's and that was kind of different too because Sweden basically they want to be equal to everything. So even with sports, I mean, I was like playing and guy was jumping over my back about 3 or 4 times. And I said, excuse me. I said, please don't do that. Okay.
Excuse me, gentlemen, sir.
Yeah. Well, I told him, I said, I looked at the officials, I said, excuse me, can he jump over my back like that? He says, no. I said, can you please call it? So he goes, so one time, so the next time he did the same thing, I said, the next time you do that, I'm gonna break your nose.
Yeah.
Okay. So I didn't swing my elbows. I got the basketball, rebounded, and I was turning around, and he did the same thing. He did that. He leaned over like this, and I heard this crack. Okay. And then he goes, what are you doing? I said, I apologize. I really feel bad about that, but I told you not to do this. And he says, oh, we're only playing for fun. I said, no, you're playing for fun. I said, I'm out here to win. I said, I'm sorry.
That's
so he
hard.
ended up
That's good.
going to the hospital. And I looked at the fish. I said, that's your fault because you didn't want to take control. Okay. See, so, and that's what they, because you got some good players. You got that guy who played for, who did he play for? I think he played for Golden State, who was from Sweden. I think he was the first Swedish pro player. I can't think of his name right now. And then you have the other guy, Heganen, who plays for Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
He's Finnish.
Yep.
Yep.
And then my brother's son, which is really weird. My brother Gerald, who just he went to Dowling College. He played over Finland, over there for probably around 20 years or so. And his son, and I don't know how it turned, his son ended up being 6'10" and a half.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can't
And he
teach
went
height.
huh?
You can't teach height.
No. So he ended up going to Old Dominion. He played at Old
Virginia.
Dominion, and then he had a chance. About 3 teams were interested in him in the pros, but then he ended up spraining his ankle, and that was it.
Yeah.
So. But I was just trying to figure. I said, well, Dad must have screwed around with somebody because how did he get the 6'10"?
But here's the question.
Yes.
Here's the question, Ron. When you were playing in Sweden in the first few years, were you calling friends of yours back in the NBA and saying, guys, I think you're doing it a little wrong here? You might want to look at Europe because you were ahead of that as well. Look at the explosion in certainly the 80s and 90s and now with European basketball.
Well, I mean, I didn't really, like I said, that was just my first experience, like being over in Europe. So, I mean, when I got back to the States, I said, yeah, you should try for some teams, but not really saying, but because some of the guys who played in Boston Six, like Bob Carrington, he played over in Spain. I met him in Spain. He was playing for a team called Saragossa. Okay, so some of them did go over to Europe afterwards. I don't think it was that big at that time compared to is now, because I mean, you're making, if you're in China and you're making over $1 million there, tax free.
We're in China now.
Yeah, oh yes. Oh, they are
know
paying
that.
you big bucks over there. And also in Israel, Greece,
Turkey.
Italy, Spain. Yeah. So those
Yeah.
are the places, but basically
Hey,
that you would go.
Marbury's the
That's right.
king
Oh,
over there.
yeah.
Come
Yeah,
on
it's a
now,
great film.
right?
That's
yes.
right.
Oh,
Oh yes. He came up with his own clothesline after he came
Yeah.
back from China.
He got the most of his China experience.
Yes, he
Man.
did. So you like you said, you made some good money, and what I don't understand right now is that these guys who are playing in the D League, I don't know why they don't try to go over in Europe and make some good money over there, because they're being watched anyways. Okay.
Right.
And how many guys right now really in the G League really go up to the
Mhm.
NBA? Not that many.
Very
No.
few.
Very few. See, so they're better off going over there. At least they're getting tax-free money, and then they're plus they're getting an apartment, they're getting a car,
Getting a good
and then
meal.
they can
Getting a
go-
good meal.
Yeah, they're getting that's right.
They get to eat well. Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know why they don't go over there. Okay, because I mean, like, who was that brother in for Los Angeles? I think it was last year, the year before. He played in the CBA or G League for like 10 years, 11. He finally got a chance to go to play with the Lakers. He was like 32 or 31.
Mm.
And then he really shot the ball well, and that was the first and last time he played up there. And he's been in the G League a long time, so, but I guess that's,
Ron, I wanted to ask you, so just to go back to Coach Farias, you met him when he was so young, and he kind of kept your legend going for so long as far as diving on the ground and taking charges. What were your early memories of Bob?
He was energetic. He had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
I remember, I can't remember, it was Wayne Morrison and myself. We was going somewhere, and all of a sudden we're going up a hill, and he said, well, you have to help the car get up there. So you have to kind of, move the car, and like an idiot, I did it. I think we ended up, it was a fog. We ended up we were supposed to go back to Lexington, but we ended up in New Hampshire, Connecticut. It was so bad. Okay. And that I've never forgot. No, but he was really energetic. He was, he was always getting in there, helping you out and everything else. I mean, he was really helpful.
And how did Rolly compare to your coach at Oregon and your coach at Phoenix first year?
They're about the I think they're both in a way, but I think Coach Harder was a little bit more because I would have to say he was military. He did everything, that, okay, if you're supposed to be there, like we had practices at 4:00 in the morning sometimes. Okay. So we would lose. He would, he had, I think my freshman year, I was going to have, when I went up to Boston, I was going to ask him a question. Then he made us run. And I'm like going, huh? I was asking a question. He said, underline.
Yeah, you can't talk.
Yeah. So then he calls me into the locker room afterwards to his office, or where all the coaches were. And he explained, he said, Ron, love you. Okay. But in practice, I'm the man. You just pay attention. Okay. He says, after practice, if you want to come in and tell me to take a hike or kiss your butt or whatever, you can tell me. But during practice, no. So I didn't say anything for 4 years. I would not ask him anything for 4 years. So my senior year, he goes, I think I pulled an all-nighter because we was having final exams. And I started every single game. So all of a sudden we have shooting practice, which is at 3, and never been late. So all of a sudden, for some reason, I woke up 5 to 3. And I'm like, oh God, so I know how it is. So I grabbed everything I possibly could, not putting it on, drove my car to MacArthur Court, left the car right there, ran downstairs. I could see the coaches up in the up on top because the gym was upstairs. So I go in the locker room, everybody's sitting down with their uniforms on, with their like hands folded or whatever. So I'm running to put my clothes on. All of a sudden, the guy goes, "Coach, he's ready." He chewed me out. Oh, every single coach chewed me out. So he says, "For that, you're not starting." Okay, because I started every game. And what am I going to say? I can't say anything. But in my mind, I said, sooner or later, you have to put me in. Okay, so you don't have
win
to
the game. You got to put me in.
put me in. So he was that type of coach that like I said, he was very on time. Do this. If you don't, you're going to run for it. We had to climb ropes. He made the guys carry bricks after I left.
Wow.
Okay, yeah.
You went Joe Jackson.
Oh yeah. Okay, so he in that way, I don't think Coach Mass was like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That Bobby Knight.
Yeah, exactly. I would say they probably both the same. Okay, yeah. Coach Harden and Coach Bob Knight.
Wow.
Okay, I think they were probably
and then,
similar.
So then what kind of coach would you be as far as old school news, the hybrid between the player coach and the disciplinarian?
Well, I wouldn't yell at him. I would.
Okay, that's different.
I would yes, I would compliment him just as much as I would tell them that they did something wrong.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I would ask for their opinions, okay, what, just say, okay, what do you think? Not necessarily I have to take it. Okay. Yeah. But at least I'll listen, because like I said, sometimes as a player, what's going on the basketball court.
Yeah.
As a coach, you can only look at it. You're not seeing it. You're not running it. So you can't see if this is open, this is not open, or somebody's cheating. You can say, hey, well, try it. If it's the beginning of the game, like I said, you can't play the last game like the first. So, if you're going to try something, try it at the beginning. I enjoyed coaching. It was the toughest part was trying to give everybody minutes.
Yeah. Can't please everyone.
You can't please everybody,
Ron, did you coach your son? Did you coach your son during his development?
When he was 7, there's a traveling team that when I lived in California.
Yeah.
And so I had to teach him, because he was a good, he really played good defense and 7th grade and stuff like that. And when you get irritated when somebody's playing defense on you. So he was playing defense, and you could see the kid get mad. So my son was running down at the end of the court on the offense, and the guy was going to co-cock him. He was going to, hit him from behind. So one of the other guy's teammates came up and stopped him. I said, son, I told you. I said, when you're playing, I said, you better be ready to step back. Okay, because I said, you always have to be ready, because you don't know what somebody's attitude is going to be. Okay,
right.
See, so, but I mean, he played, he was in the 9th grade. He played on the varsity as a 9th grader. Then he ended 10 points a game his freshman year. Then I think he went up to 20 to 22 points a game the last 3 years. Wow. I mean, he had 27 points in 1 quarter.
One quarter?
Yes, in 1 quarter. Yes.
Wow.
Yes. See, and the problem with him is he was all talent. I wish he would have had somebody like Coach Master push him, because, I mean, he'd have 25 points at halftime and it only end up with 27 or 26, the second half, because he said, okay, I got all my points. I'm going to, and I said, son, if that was me, if I got 25, I'm going for 50. I'm sorry. Right. Okay. See, and he didn't have that killing instinct that you needed, to jump over that hurdle, so, and I mean, he did well. He went to the CIF finals as a public school. For some reason, he did not get go play Division I. I could never understand that. Not because he's my son, but I've seen enough basketball, and I know he was a lot better than a lot of guys who went to Division I. So he ended up going to a junior college, and I think he averaged like 20, 21 points a game there for 2 years, and then he went to an NAI school, and then he ended up averaging around 20 points there. Mm-hmm. So I mean, he ended up having the score and everything, but as you well know, if you don't go in Division I, nobody's really going to look at you. Say, yeah. So, and that's why I was hoping that he got a chance. He would have had a chance playing for Coach Mass his senior year.
When he was at Florida.
Just because of his connections. Okay. And then I know Coach Mass, at least I saw some of his practices, and he really basically didn't change. He still had that attitude. He still had the fire about coaching, the desire, and pushing the kids.
Yeah.
And then I think my son would have been perfect, there, but it never happened, so. And then he ended up going over and playing Spain for 2 years. So, and then the COVID came.
I want to ask. I want the second half of that question is I want to see if you can give me some advice because
Okay.
I've been coaching my son since he was 4 years old on the soccer field, but now he's 13. He's playing
Yeah.
baseball, he's basketball, football.
Okay.
He's the quarterback. You know what I mean? He's
Yeah.
in a place right now where he's
Yes.
like the superstar in the town. But I'm trying to let him know that he still has to work hard.
Yes.
Because everyone could kind of surpass him as he gets a little bit older if he
Yeah.
doesn't put the work in, right? So,
Yes.
what kind of advice would you give me to give him the proper guidance?
Well, I mean, I told my son, I said, don't get big head because there's always somebody better than you. I said, you got to go out there and work your butt off. And the bad thing about that is that, and I hate to say it, is that they will listen to somebody else except you.
Yeah. Bingo.
Okay?
Bingo.
My son did not listen to me. I would go out there and practice him. I would go out sometimes at nighttime with no lights on. You could just see the rim. And I go, let's go. I said, for what? I said, this is going to help your shooting because if you can concentrate on the rim, shooting the basketball out in the dock, and it's only the rim off the reflection, I said, then you should be able to improve your shooting. So, but he fought me the whole way. Well, I don't know. I don't want to do that. My friends tell me I should be getting my assist. I said, screw your assist. I said, they're not looking at your assist. I said, you're going to automatically get your assist when you're aggressive going to the basket. Okay. You don't have to look for your assist. You will get it automatically. But somehow he was stuck on assist. Okay. Right. And I go, okay, all right. So now I look at him. I said, I told you. I said, I don't want to say I told you so. But you listened to your friends more than you did me. And then I said, what do I have to gain out of it? Nothing, except hopefully that you produce so you get better. Okay. So the only thing you can do is do what you're doing, advising them and try to say, okay, hey, I always say suggestion. Because if you say you need to do this, I go, okay, that's like, well, they're going to fight you on that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I said, if that was me, okay, my other friends who, I would suggest that you maybe work on your free throw shooting or work on your ball handling or work on your jump shot. So I would just suggest it. And I said, it's up to you, because I said, you know what? When things go past, the only person that you have to blame, and he says, who? I said, come here. I took him into the bathroom, okay, and there was a mirror in there. That person right there. That person will be the only person stopping you. Yeah. Okay, see, because that way he can't blame anybody else. Yeah. Or so I really, for me, I just like I said, I only suggest because I found out with my kids, when you kind of say you need to do this, they go the opposite direction.
Reverse psychology. You got to do. Don't do that. Don't work hard.
Don't do that. Yeah.
I'll kill you if you work hard.
Oh God. So I just make a suggestion and that's it. And then the consequences. I said, I told you. I said, because I said, there's always a consequence, good or bad, on your decision, no matter what. Okay. You went up, you took a left, you should have took a right.
Yep.
But that's what's so great about life life is a journey. It's an adventure.
Pretty much.
Amen. Well said. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just say, well, you shouldn't have done it. Now you got to pay the consequences. Okay. So that's for me. That's the way I accept life. I said, okay, hey, well, I did that. I lost my money there. Well, that taught me a lesson.
Yeah, right.
I won't lend you any more money.
I ain't getting it back, but I ain't coming back to do it again.
I know. Well, as the old saying, I told my son, I said, you'd rather get screwed by a friend than getting screwed by somebody you don't know. So now how's the weather back there?
Come on, man.
It was hot
Not
today.
the West Coast. It's
hot. Today was hot.
It's cold.
Today was
people
hot.
in a rush.
It changes. Yeah.
Oh, I know.
It's not constant. It's not constant.
That's one thing I found about the East Coast of government. It's
Yeah.
like I slow down a lot. We talk fast.
Yeah.
So when I first came out to the West Coast, they go, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm going to the store." They go, "What?" I said, "I'm going to the store." And I'm like going, "Oh, okay. I apologize. I am going to the store."
But Ron, I just want to take it back for a second. When you were talking about coaching yourself, just to piggyback off of Mike and the question of coaching with his son, it was funny. It stood out to me when we talk about Coach Mass, and then you had the Bobby Knight prototype at Oregon.
Yeah.
That how you would coach was almost in the parallel opposite. The first thing you said is, I would listen, A, B, and C, all the things. So you would do it a lot differently.
Well, I would do it differently, but I would still do
The
where
running.
they would have to work. Okay, like say, okay, if they screwed up, okay, let's go on the line.
Yeah.
Okay,
you can't
I would
remove
still
that.
do that, but not in the manner that they did, with the yelling and stuff. I wouldn't
Yeah.
yell. I'd just say, I said, okay, everybody in the line.
Yeah.
And if you don't want to do it, I said, okay, there's the door. Okay.
And just do it calm. I realize even I have a 5-year-old, when I fight with the yelling, he screams and then we start acting crazy. I'm like, what? Like, yeah. I think the calm, but that's the West Coast too.
Yeah.
Well,
Mike just moved to the West Coast.
You don't have to yell to hold players accountable. I think it's
No.
consistency and it's being, but to your point, Ron, you can still run, you can still hold people to a high standard without screaming at them. Because particularly when you're young, when they're young men, they shut down, and I think you don't get the most out of people, which is the point.
Yeah. Well, I think you could do it without degrading them.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's the whole thing.
That's a good point.
Is that you don't want to embarrass them, but you also want to get your point across.
Yeah.
Okay, like Hubie Brown, we had Hubie Brown. He's calling people sieves. You sieve. He didn't care what he was talking. Even if you had your pants in back, he'd still be yelling at you. I mean, you go, whoa, and the same thing with Coach Al. He'll yell and stuff like that, and I just I didn't go, I'm not gonna do it. I said, my motto was, I'll show you. I said, I'll take anything you can give me. Okay, see. So, but I mean, like I said, for me, I would just say, I'd get over and say, hey, you could have did this better. Okay. And sometimes I say, I'm pulling you out because you didn't do it. Okay. And then they go, look at me like, yeah. I said, I'm pulling you up because you didn't shoot the ball. That's what you're good at. Okay. If you don't want to shoot, sit down. And that's what I told my son. I said, he said, if I was your coach, I said, I'd have sat you down on the bench. Why? I said, because you're supposed to be a shooter. And if you don't shoot the basketball, then you're not doing it.
Go to right field and hope they don't hit you the ball.
See, so I mean, I try to put it in a way where I don't, embarrass them, but I get the point across by saying, okay, let's do some minute drills. Okay, let's do a double suicide.
No one.
Okay. Yeah. And then I give them a choice at the end of practice. I said, okay, I'm going to have this guy shoot 2 free throws. Okay. Who thinks he's going to make them? Who thinks he's not going to make them? That way, I said, hey, that's your choice. Okay. So the majority of the team goes on one side because they know the guy can't shoot free throws. And then he ends up making them. I said, let's go. I said, that's when I say that's 20 times up and down the court. They go, but hey, you made your choice. I didn't. You picked the wrong person.
Yeah.
Give me 20 laps. Okay. So that way they can't blame me.
Well, Ron, what's so crazy for us, and because Hubie Brown, so Rolly told us that Hubie Brown replaced him at this powerhouse in New Jersey where he had went 20-1 the year before, and he was telling us down in wherever you guys were, Jupiter, West Palm Beach, Danny, that famously, I was 20-1. I was so happy. I want to come back. I thought we could win it all the next year. So Lexington reached out, and I went super high, and I said, you know what? I want $9,000. I was making like 4. So I more than doubled it, thinking there was no way Lexington was going to pay me $9,000 at the time to teach and coach basketball at Lexington. And they did. And so,
Did
you know,
they?
they left and he started this culture. And then
Yeah.
through him coaching your dad, then it really kind of the Voltron came together. And
Yeah.
here we are in 2021. It's great to finally talk to you.
Yeah. Well, you guys did a fantastic job. You know, I mean, even though I don't, you know, like I said, I don't really reach out to. I'm a very quiet person. I'm very private.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't like to be in the limelight. I don't, you know, because that way, if I get in trouble, nobody's
Yeah.
gonna know who I am.
Yeah. I need to learn that.
You know, it's like somebody will come and say, "Are you Ronnie?" I go, "Why?"
Yeah, right. Why?
I go, "What?" I said, "What did this person do?" I said, you know, so I ask them before I tell them who I am, you know, and stuff like that. Because when people come up, you know, here, because you know, I walk around Eugene and stuff like that, and people, you know, are you? And then I said, I play basketball here. I'm just Ronnie. I don't tell them what I do. And then all of a sudden they go, "Oh, you're that guy." I go, "Yeah." You know, which I basically get embarrassed of it, you know, because I never understood it, because I played the game because of the love of it, not to get the recognition, you know, and that I never understood. Okay, and I still don't. But you know, like I said, I mean, it's a point where some athletes, and I know where if they can help somebody do what they do, and it doesn't have to be with basketball, then it's all worth it.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, I got a chance, an opportunity to meet this not young lady, but this lady who, when I was playing for Phoenix, and she was sick, but she enjoyed what I did on the court. So I would go visit her sometimes, and I said, if that made her better, then it was well worth what I was doing. So
that's awesome.
if somebody gets something out of it, so that's my thing. Money's a necessity. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You know. So.
Well, I gotta say, for me, you know, growing up in Lexington basketball culture, and I was a big, I always tried to follow the players and learn about the players that came before me. And I think everybody who played in Lexington, there were some certain traits around work ethic and defense and taking charges. And those are skills that you sort of take with you for the rest of your life. Work ethic, being prepared, and all those things. Yeah. And for me, all that stuff kind of, you know, you started that. And I think, you know, you know, I coached a little bit with Tom Sullivan, who won a state title in 1978, and somebody I really admire about, you know, his basketball IQ. Yeah. And he says the guy that he learned how to play basketball from is watching you play. And so I just think the way you played the game, defense and hustle and those things, that's competitiveness. Those are great traits that any coach, any person should have. Those are really good things.
And the other part about the impact on the culture too, though, Ron, just said, this is what's so crazy about it, is that 35 years later, my dad would be at a table in Lexington talking about a charge that you took. Not 100 points in a game, not Travis Best in Springfield, not 100 points, not this, not that, not shattering the backboard, not whatever. A charge. He took a charge and he wound up on this side of the court somehow. And like that, so it is that imprint, Mike, that you're talking about of that style of basketball.
Well, I mean, I guess just something you learn. I mean, like I watched, you know, the Boston Celtics, and I think Tom Sanders, I called him Spider-Man, because he was well known for his defense. Okay, and I basically, all the coaches I basically had, Coach Mass, they believed in the defensive thing. Okay, so I would learn, you know, I mean, I think I already had that in me, but they brought it out even more, you know, where playing defense, it was a challenge. Okay, you score 25 points a game. I'm going to try to see if you can score 18 points a game. Okay, or I'm going to be a mosquito on you. Okay, see, so that's the challenge I like taking, you know. I mean, one of the best things that we played, I don't know if you heard Downtown Freddie Brown. He played for the Seattle Supersonics.
Seattle, sure.
Yeah, so we was playing against them, and all of a sudden, you know, and he's a nice guy, but in the game, he goes, "Fisher, can you probably watch this guy? Because he hacks the crap out of people." I go, "Gotcha." Okay, because I said, he's thinking more about me now than he is anything else, you know. So that's the thing, it's a head game, you know, and I tell him, I said, I got a green light. I said, I'm gonna fire the crap out of you tonight, buddy. So it is fun. It is a challenge, and some people like Ricky Sobers, who played for the Phoenix Suns, he played for Chicago Bulls. So he got traded when I went to Phoenix. So he played. So we're playing against him, and he's also a good defensive player. So I'm really playing some D on it. But see, he wanted to take a little bit more. He says, "Come on, Ron, take me to the hoop." I said, "I'm not that type of person." Okay, I don't need to prove myself that I'm an offensive player. See, so you have those type of plays. But like you said, the defense, it's it's fun for me. Taking charges, diving. Some people say when I went to pros that I would not last that long doing what I did. Okay, which I did. I mean, I still took charges. Phoenix had a contest on how many times I would take a charge. Okay, so I ended up getting a waterbed out of it. Okay, whoever won, all I could hear is on the floor, "Run, I need 2 more dives. I need 2 more dives." So, but I mean, that's how much that they enjoyed, the defensive part or whatever they were getting out of me. So I mean, like I said, I love playing defense. So it's part of the game. I think it's part of the game that nobody really wants to do, though. As you see these days, like you said, you watch the playoffs, but during the season, nobody really plays that good. Some do. I have to admit, some players in the NBA play some defense, but the majority of them probably not.
Mr. Prensky, can you ask Ronnie Lee the $1 million question that we were talking about earlier?
Remind me.
Come on.
I forgot, Carl.
Tying it all up, bringing it home. Would he
About
ever
Bermuda?
consider?
Oh,
Okay.
No,
I forgot the question, Carl. You gotta.
Would he ever come back to Lexington and coach and take?
Oh.
Thank you, Mr. Masker, brother.
Oh, look at that one. Wow.
Not well.
Zing that in there.
In my mind, yes, but in reality, I enjoy my retirement right now.
If we moved the school to the West Coast, would you coach?
I like, for me, I found out, I mean, I like coaching, but I like, when I was living in California, I did individual lessons.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that more, I think, than coaching, because then you could work with somebody and try to help them. Because I found that a lot of people doing that is that it's not that they don't like the game, it's they don't understand it. And nobody teaches the basics, just ball handling, passing. Okay. They don't teach them that. So once they learn how to do it, and as somebody who's teaching, even as a coach, you get enjoyment just seeing the smile on the person's face. Okay. So for me, I enjoyed more or less individual training with kids than I would probably say coaching wise. So
you're open up for Lexington kids for individual lessons.
Yeah,
you just don't want to take over the program.
Yeah,
that's a start. That's a start. We'll work a bit slowly. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
You're like, oh, this is a great talent, great culture. I think I'll stay.
Yes, we got baby step it.
Because as you well know, I think sometimes, when I do the train the kids, I said you have to be basically fundamentally sound. Because once you get into high school, and I believe sometimes it begins to be politics.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's not because I coached a couple of kids where they were better than the guys who were playing, but because the coach liked the other ones, they never played.
Yeah.
And that was the sad point about it, because I went to watch him play and I said, whoa, I said, if you're not better than that kid, well, he's a senior. I said, so what? He's a senior. It's not your fault. He shouldn't be penalizing you. And that's the bad thing about it. And you get some of these kids who really work hard at it and they get disappointed. And I just tell them, you know what? I said, don't let that get you down. I said, you keep on working at it. And I said, if you want to go, say you go to a junior college, try out for the basketball team. Okay. Because that's the only way. But don't give up. I said, don't give up your dream because somebody else is trying to stop you. So that's why I enjoy doing individual, because they have to learn the basics. They have to learn how to pass. They don't have to do a triple threat position, or rebounding, or outlet pass. Okay. I think when you do it as a group, sometimes I think that some of the kids get lost because they're not as good as the people in front of them. And I think it's discouraging for them, which basically they could be better than the people who are playing in front of them. But
Absolutely.
they don't stay that long, or they don't have that confidence in themselves. Okay, so for me, I'm like saying, okay, hey, I want to give you that confidence as an individual, say. And then I would go to games and watch them play, and then I would critique. I said, yeah, you did this, when you got in. I said, but and they were happy with that. I said, and the parents were happy with that, because usually I go with the parents who watch them play. So for me, that's what I enjoyed.
That's a great service right there.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
And in California, you could do it because the days are so good. I did my training outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
All year round.
And here in Eugene, there's not that many courts or facilities for that.
Yeah, rock climbing, Ron.
Oh yeah. Didn't somebody just passed away on that? They tried to rock.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah. No. If I want to do rock climbing, I look at the National Geographic.
Yeah.
You go, yeah, I wish I could do that. So. But like I said, other than that, I just watch TV, do some walking with the wife, and
Perfect.
do some biking.
Biking's the best.
Yeah, well, I do stable biking. I do it like 50 minutes a day.
Yeah, me too, man. I just right here on the Peloton, baby. That's it.
It's a community,
I have the whole world come to me on the Peloton. That's how I do.
My wife, I said, if she wants somebody to walk with her, she should find another guy. I said, because I'm walking.
That's the truth.
That's
hey, Ron, I want to share one basketball story, because we keep talking about defense. I just want to bring up one moment in my era.
Yeah.
1983, we played against Lawrence Central Catholic. They were the #1 team in Massachusetts at the time.
Oh, okay.
And we were the underdogs. In the last 2 minutes, I think we were probably down by either 9 or 11 points, right? So it was a lot of back and forth just to get it back down to 1.
Okay.
One last play. Lawrence was taking the ball out of bounds, and the only way we can get the ball back is if we held him to a 5-second violation.
Yeah.
Coach Farias brought us into the huddle.
Uh-huh.
And he gave us the whole, Lexington defensive pride. This is the time you gotta shine. We got out there. We denied that ball, man. Everyone did what they needed to do.
Yeah.
We got the ball back. We scored. We won, man.
Wow.
We won that game.
What a feeling.
Purely on defense.
Yeah.
What a feeling.
Nothing like that gives you chills right now, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
I know.
Absolutely.
Doesn't it though? Yeah. I know. So
absolutely.
Well, like I said, you can't give up on it. I mean, like I said, till the buzzer rings, I mean, they had the girls with 20 seconds, they were down like, I want to say 6 points, and they ended up winning the game at the U of O. I mean, they just played, so I mean, I probably watched the women play more than the men. Yeah.
Nice.
Because they are so fun to watch,
Yeah. Because they can shoot.
Yeah, they
set
shoot,
picks and play
defense. The whole thing about for
play
me
the game
is
right.
that it's not the person who can shoot, but everybody has their job to do. Okay, and when you get the recognition, and you don't have to score. I don't care if you score, but if you get 10 rebounds, you get 2 assists, you did just as good as the guy who scored. Even though they won't give you that recognition. Okay, but see, that's what I look at. I said, hey. Oh yeah, that guy scored 35 points, but if it wasn't for that guy who just stole that ball, that 35 points wouldn't mean that much to him. Okay. See, so that's basically what they look at. They look at the scoring. I look at what other attributes they can, do on the court, defense wise. Okay, setting screens or just giving your body. For me, they're the heroes for me. Okay, not the guy who scored 20-something points. Say so, and like I said, that's why I try to. Oh, I only scored 10 points. I said, yeah, but you got 6 rebounds. You stole the basketball twice. Okay, you gave 4 assists. Okay, you did your job.
Right, you knocked the bully in the teeth.
Yeah. See, so, but I mean, like I said, I think AAU for me kind of killed basketball, because I tell people who are going to the AAU, I said, you got to be selfish.
Yeah.
Okay,
Get
if
your
you're not
shots.
selfish, if you're not selfish, you're not basically going to make, unless there's a coach that knows what he's looking at.
Right.
Okay, so But, and because, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I don't think the recruiting, the way they do recruiting now is not the same as they did when we was growing up.
Yeah, and
No.
I don't even know if they play pickup basketball anymore. I think everybody has a private coach, and you go to an
Yes.
AAU team.
Oh,
and
God, yeah.
super
Yeah.
specialized. It's like
Yeah.
the whole
But-
fun
but-
has been sucked out of
There's
it. if I
over
look at
there's
it.
over 200 here in New York, man. It's insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
wow. Well, the thing
Yeah.
about it is that they don't go to the coaches anymore. They go to the AAU games.
Yeah.
And they used to send you letters. They used to talk to your parents. They They
Right.
used to make it kind of personal. Now
And
they
who are
just
the
come to
AAU coaches too? They're
Huh?
not your teacher. The AAU coaches, they're not
Yeah.
your teachers at school.
No.
The early versions were like the worst people you ever met in your life, patrolling around Boston back in the early
Yeah.
90s when we were
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah.
Yep. They-
We
so
know who
and
they
that-
are. We know.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. What they want you to do though these days is they want you to sign the letter of intent before the season even starts.
Mm.
Okay,
Mm.
because that's what I found with my son. He had a letter from Colorado and stuff like that. Well, he could have taken it, but the season hasn't even started yet because we wanted to see what the other option was. We found that he should have taken that. Okay, because at the end, at the end of the season, everybody basically got all their players.
Yeah.
Okay, and then they go, well, we don't have any more scholarship left. Okay, and that's why some of these, I think what happens, they get the players that they're trying to recruit, and then they got maybe 2 or 3 other scholarship left, but they give it to somebody who's local or give it to somebody who's half of what they're looking for. See,
Yeah.
so, but I mean that, like say, time changes.
Yeah. No, but that's you could be a good consultant for kids, especially when you're talking about talent that that college decision is very important, and the factors have changed so much.
Yeah.
You need someone to vouch, to be in your corner.
Yeah. Well, do you think they're going to end up paying these players to go into school now, sooner or later?
Probably, right?
It's breaking down.
The NCAA, I think, is going to fight that tooth and nail. And I think there's a new league that's forming up right now where a couple of new recruits from Georgia, these 2 twins, agreed to play in essentially a professional league where they're going to get paid money. So I think they're going to maybe get some money from their likeness if they're making money profiting from their jerseys and things like that. I think the NCAA is going to fight that tooth and nail to start paying players, but
they make so much money though.
They make so much money. They should.
Yeah, but see, this is what they should be doing, okay? Because I mean, 97, 98% of the players do not make the pros.
Yeah.
So my suggestion, I gave some coaches, I said, what you should do is put an endowment for all the players that come. And I don't know what they would put into it, but here's the catch. Okay, so we'll put this in every year for you. Okay. Yeah. But for order you to get it, you have to graduate.
Great.
Yeah. Give it to them on the way out.
Yeah, on the way out. And if you don't graduate, you don't get the money. Okay. Because what happens is give it to some kids who don't want to go back home or don't want to live there. They found another place. The money that they get after they graduate will give them that opportunity to go live there because they got enough money to go for about a year or so.
Right.
I think that would be the best suit for the NCAA.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. See,
that's a great idea.
I don't know if they use it, but I think that's better than paying them. Okay.
Yeah, that's a great idea. It's
that's a great idea
because smart to work.
It would keep them motivated. It'll keep them on the straight and narrow. They would finish college, which should be the most important goal.
Most important part.
Yeah.
And then then they have something for their efforts on the back end. That's actually a very good idea.
Yeah, saying I don't know. They would have to figure out how much because you got different colleges that I guess the athletic economy. I don't know how much they making and whatever, but they would have.
No, but that's enough. That's huge, though.
Yeah. See, so because I mean it's I mean the NBA, the college, they're making money up to kazoo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
SEC.
So, Jeez, with the
Yeah.
you
And I mean, they're
you
gonna
got
pay
the
the kids
coaches with their
anyway, so they
radio
might as well
shows.
do something.
Yeah.
Come on.
They're gonna pay the kids anyway, so they might as well do something worthwhile instead of them spending it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Take the seediness out of it. Let's just pay them transparently. We're doing it anyway.
Yeah. Instead of them coming up, are you getting money for playing? Which they're gonna say no. Now they can say, yeah, they're putting an endowment for me. Yeah, so
Put my money in Bitcoin, please.
yeah.
Glad they did.
Right.
So but they gotta do something, because I mean the kids who think that they're that good, which
Right.
they're basically being used, they say they go pro, and if they don't make it, where's that education? They're out in the left field.
Right.
I
Okay.
think the challenge, and I don't know if this was as prevalent when you were playing, but I think these kids have so many people in their ears telling them how great they are.
Yeah.
That, oh, don't worry, you're going to make it, and they don't even consider a backup plan, or education to them is so far down the
Yeah.
road. They're going to be the ones that make it, and to your point, most of them don't. Most of them don't make it.
Yeah, but I think during the olden days before, I would say during my time, okay, I don't know if education was important, but it wasn't that important because people just wanted to go play basketball, and coaches would draft or get the kids just to play basketball.
Yeah. Nothing else
and then
mattered.
they wouldn't, they have somebody go in and get the grades for them. I think during our time, okay, they probably done that, or even before my time. Okay, we just want this player. What are we going to do to get him? Okay, say so, and then they found out, well, they don't finish school. They say, oh, you're really good, and everything else. And they found out, well, they didn't make it, and then now they're stuck because they don't have an education. Okay, so, but now I think it's at least it's a lot better than it was during our time. Okay, I mean, you have to get your GPA, your 3.4 or whatever to get into school, or at least get help and stuff. So that's the good thing about it. But the transfer they're doing these days that the kids can go leave, not transfer to another school, makes it so easy for them. Okay. It's like, well, I don't like the coach. I'm going to go here. Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of saying, you know what? You're going to stay at the school. No, if you do, you're going to miss a year. Okay. Because it makes it tough for the coaches to try to coach a player or to try to build a team going, okay, well, he's not getting a couple more minutes than he wants. He's going to transfer. So he's going to leave the program.
Right.
Okay.
The players should not have that leverage in
They
that
shouldn't have that
equation.
leverage.
No way.
Yeah. They're going to have enough leverage when they get money. Okay. Right. If that goes that way, but to leave the school, no, then you have to sit out a year.
Well, that's why it's funny too when you see, if we go back to like Rick Pitino coaching the pros, all of a sudden he's screaming at these guys like Coach Ferry is. They're 10 times as wealthy as him, and they're like, Coach, don't force it. Relax. I'll try better. Okay.
Yeah, but the money that these coaches are making now, oh my God.
Yeah, a lot of them.
I mean, millions of dollars, and then they're getting their own TV shows or.
But there was an NBA pension though, right? 9 years, you qualified for that.
Yeah, I think it was you only have. I think it's 2 years, or 2 years or 3 years that you have to be in the NBA.
Oh, really?
Okay. At least when I was going, yeah, because my brother was only in there for 2.5. He signed a 3-year contract, but he was only in there for 2.5.
What happened there?
Well, he got cut.
Yeah.
So, but I said, well, can't you fight that? Because I said, even though you didn't play the other half a year, but your contract was to 3 years. It's not your fault that they cut you. Well, it is. Yeah. It was your fault, a little, but still.
Call my host family. We'll sue them.
Yeah, I guess they know. They said you have to play 3 years. See, yeah, I know, and he missed it by half a year. See, and my brother should have went over to Europe and played, but he didn't. And I probably because I guess he's having a family and stuff like that. So, but I guess you have to look at their card and say, well, let me see. They're offering me $60,000, $70,000, and well, honey, you can either go with me or I'll send you the money. Yeah, because I mean, where else are you going to make that type of money, especially during that time? Okay. You know, I mean, it's you know, like I said, the family can always go with you. You know, so, but let's see if they do that, or like you said, the NCAA are going to fight it, because that means it's going to take money out of their pocket or out of their, you know, organization. But I think like I said, the dowry is probably the best way they could go for me.
Yeah, that's smart, because a part of me is, you look at baseball and hockey, like these kids play pro if they want to go that route. That's always been available for these other major sports.
Yeah.
You had this amazing college experience. It's just really a proxy. Half the kids have this amazing experience where they get so much out of it. And then, you know, some people don't, you know, love college as much as maybe high school. You know, they don't, I mean, I don't know. I guess in the pro game, you need that college experience.
Yeah.
The one and done never works.
No, for the majority of the people, you do have the exceptions.
Yeah,
I mean,
but for majority.
You had, who is it? Remember Dale Dawkins? He came straight from my high school.
Yeah.
The
round and rebound. Yeah.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, Moses Malone.
Yeah.
Moses too.
Before Garnett. But then there was a rash in the early.
I'm just saying there are exceptions, but
yeah.
If you're talking about percentages, no.
Yeah.
They need to go to college, okay?
Right.
Get that graduation or the certificate saying, yeah, I graduated. You know,
right.
So
right.
But I'm not saying that you're going to use it. I mean, I graduated in recreation park management and never used it.
Come back to Lexington. We got a spot. Parks and Recs basketball.
Well, only if my old girlfriend's still there.
There you go.
That's my next one.
We'll make some calls. We'll fly her in. We'll make some calls.
Hey, you know what? I tried to find her. I couldn't find her. So
Facebook? No?
Huh?
No Facebook? You couldn't find her?
No, you couldn't find her. Believe me.
Yeah.
you putting this work.
No. I some people are just interested to see, you know, what they were doing at this point. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's you know, she's a girl that I met. You know, I think I was a junior. She was a senior.
Nice.
Okay, so, but I just wanted to find out what she's doing.
But you would already won a state title.
Yeah. Huh?
You already won a state title.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but
Continue.
I mean, see if you know, like they say, they asked me how many kids do I have, and I said I only have 3 as far as I know of. So I don't know, you know. So if I have any more, I'm denying it. But you know, give me that DNA test. Prove it to me.
If he's good.
It's like my father would always say, deny.
Yes. Good for that.
Well said.
That's our mantra.
You know, so they go, prove it. You know, so but.
So that was in Lexington, though. You had a girl in Lexington. You didn't see her when you went to Oregon. You guys broke up.
No, you know what? I mean, you know, once you go to college from high school, you know, especially that distance. I mean, you're not gonna, you know, it wasn't where, okay, hey, I love you. I'm gonna, you come with me. You know, so
yeah. Ron, I know you're playing basketball in front of 20,000 people.
You know, all I wanted to do was concentrate on my study and my basketball. You know, so and then
well, let's look into that. If she's back, you know, maybe we can lure you.
No, I don't think she's back. No, I don't know when I gotta come. I know I gotta come back to Boston because I have to. When my mother passed away, we got her ashes, and she wanted to be buried next to her mother. So I just want to take a little jar of ashes back to where my grandmother is buried.
Where she's buried.
And put the ashes right next to her. Or, you know. Yeah. So, and so, I mean, I have to come back sooner or later.
Okay. Where is your grandmother buried? In your...
she's buried, I know she's buried in Mattapan.
Okay.
I forgot the name of the cemetery.
Mount Hope.
Huh?
I said Mount Hope.
Mount Hope. It might
it's
be.
It's like everybody's. My grandmother's buried in Mount Hope. Everybody buried in Mount Hope.
Good chance.
Yeah, hope
telling you,
man.
Her, huh? Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, everybody except my father and my mother were cremated. So my grandmother's the only one, and my grandfather was buried in there. So I told my kids to cremate me. I can't see spending $5,000 for a coffin that
Yeah.
it might be usable again. They might dig it up and use it again.
They lower it, then they pull it back up.
They
Okay.
pull it back. How do you really? How are you going to know?
You know, everybody gone? Pull it up. Pull it up.
Well, see, bad thing about the ashes is I have my father over my sink, and
Oh,
I
be
talk
careful.
to him, but I don't know which part I'm talking to though.
Ah,
Okay, so I said, Dad, is you here today or what? So, but yeah, so I'm with the cremate me.
Yeah. Keep us
So-
posted on the Boston visit, though.
Huh?
Keep us posted on the Boston visit.
Oh yeah. Oh, I will do that. Yeah. So because it got to be. I'll probably do it within the next 2 years. I think. I want to do that because that's something I promise. That's my bucket list. I think right there.
You're not there yet.
Ron, I want to share the two films with you somehow. So maybe if these guys have your contact information, I'll send you some links where you can watch the films on your own. Couple of these faces who are on this panel here, you'll recognize them. They're in the first one. This guy right here, and that fellow over there at the end. So yeah, it's a good story, man. I think you'll appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Now, is the school that it seems like the school looks the same? I've seen some pictures of it. Or has it changed or
I mean,
The gym is the same. The gym is the same. Not much has changed.
yeah.
any additions or now is the football field at the same place it was before?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it does look that,
A little fresh coat of paint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fieldhouse is probably has the same rims when you were there. It's the exact same.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed in the Fieldhouse.
All the geography that was written on the field house, they spray painted over that.
Yeah, I remember all that. Yeah.
All that effort we put into climbing up there to get our names up there, and they
Hey, well,
painted right over it.
Yeah, Mike.
it brought some memories where the school would close and we had the blizzards and we still had to practice.
Oh
Yeah.
gosh, yeah, right.
Oh
No-
God! I remember
no
one
doubt.
time
Saturday
Brian
mornings.
McAllister. He was a center for us, so I'm staying over his place, so we're late. Okay, so we had practice. So this is how out the left field I was. So I tried to sneak into practice, and I think I was the only black guy on the team. Maybe Jeff Baker was the only. And like I was going to get away with it. I don't know what I was thinking.
Stood out. It'll
I
blend
said
right
maybe
in.
he might not notice us.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So that's
Man.
that was fun. So now when you were in Metco, how long did it get you to get out there?
Man, well, it was about an hour because
Yep,
after it went through the city picking up everybody,
Yes.
and then you had to go that route, and
Well, what's the route you went when you missed the bus?
oh, good man, that's a good question. All right, so it was I had to take the orange line. I either go to Eggleston or to Dudley. Take the orange line
Yep.
to the red line. Go to Harvard Square. From Harvard Square,
Yep.
catch the 77 Arlington Heights bus
77.
to Arlington Heights. Get to Arlington Heights, and then that's where the Hanscom Field damn bus would only come once every.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? So if you just missed that Hanscom Field, you'd have to wait another hour. Then you really late for school.
Yeah.
And
Well,
I used to go.
I did.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah,
This
that's an
is what
era,
I
dude.
did. Yeah,
Wow.
I mean, especially in the blizzard, though. I mean, we still had practice, so I had to go. I had to get on that bus. So from where I lived in Dorchester.
Yeah.
So I first had to walk to the bus stop, get the bus, go to the bus station, take the train right to Harvard, like you said. Take
Yep.
the bus. If it was late, I would walk. I would start walking.
You start
and I
walking.
remember where the bus
Jeez.
stop. And
Yeah.
then I would catch the bus and it would take me to, the Heights. And then if I missed the bus by the hour, I would
Yep.
just thump. I would just,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it's like, should I go to school? Because the time I get there, it'd be like 10 o'clock. That was
What year did you graduate from high school?
72.
All right, so 73 is when I started at Parker Elementary School.
Oh, okay.
The year right after you, I started third or second grade, Parker Elementary School, and then Diamond, and then high school. Yeah. So
Yeah.
right after
Oh,
you,
yeah.
right after you. Yep.
Yeah. So that was a trip, wasn't it?
It sure was, boy. It
4
sure was.
years. 4 years. And did you had a host parents, didn't you?
I had a host parent. Yep. Matter of fact, my host family was from Sweden.
Oh, oh yeah, you told me.
I'm
Yeah.
not. Yeah, because the father worked at MIT Lincoln Laboratory. That's right.
Okay.
He was an
Here,
engineer.
let me ask you
Yeah.
this question. Did you have to take your shoes off?
I did. Yes, I did. Yes, I
Okay.
did. I
All
sure
right.
did.
Okay. Because in Sweden, when you go into somebody's place, you leave your shoes right at the door and you
Door.
walk in.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. I sure did. They were good people, though. Real good
Oh
people.
yeah. Oh
Real
yes.
good people.
Yeah.
They invited me out there in the summertime. Real good people.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it was summertime was the nice time because during winter time, everybody's covered.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah,
Summertime is nice out there. Now, did they have a summer house?
No, but they took me out there in the summertime, they always had something going on, man. Going to the lake,
Okay.
going here, always something going on,
No,
So,
were you ever there for the summer festival that they had?
yes.
Okay.
In the town in
In
the
the town,
summer?
yeah, they had a big
Yeah,
old.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Did you
Oh
ever
yeah.
see the basketball tournaments?
I played in them summer tournaments. The
Oh,
ones
did
at the
you?
center court, the ones at the center courts?
Yeah, we had tournaments. We ended
Yeah.
up playing that. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
big.
yeah.
That
Yeah.
was big.
Wow.
Yeah. So you went
And
through all that.
all that, man, all that, whatever was the AAU version back then, I
Yeah,
played in all that stuff at Arlington Boys Club, the little
yeah.
tournament they used to have at the Boys Club.
Uh-huh.
Played on the Buddies team. Ferries connected
The
you with
buddies.
the New Bedford coach, or the crazy
Yeah.
New Bedford coach. Yeah, all that,
Okay.
all of it. I played against Al Broski and the Titans and the
Oh, damn.
Cooper
Titans.
community and all that for years, man. On and on.
Well,
All of it.
did you play? You must have been playing in the summer because we played in the summer league, but you had to go to Arlington, you had to go to Winchester, you had to go. We did that during the summertime. Just to,
Yep.
And plus, I played in the city, which they had. I want to say the WNBL.
BNBL. BNBL.
Yep, BNBL.
That's right.
Yes.
All of it. All of it.
Well, did they have
Yeah.
the one there?
Those Washington
the
Park,
baseball
those
stadium.
Derby.
Near Fenway Park, they had one where.
Yes. At the
That
Fens.
was,
The Fens.
when we was there, that was a bigger one. That was big.
That was the big one. That was the
That
big
was a
one.
big one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. People could come
The
and watch.
talisman, and all of it.
Oh yeah, the talisman.
Remember them? The talisman? Yeah. Oh
Yes,
yeah.
yes. Oh yeah. And then I guess in leagues they would have you ever played in ice skating rings?
Like the MDCs, the MDC.
Yeah.
They used
And
to
we
put hoops inside that.
Yep, they used to put hoops inside and we played on a cement.
Okay. And
Oh, yes. Yeah, we
And
played
you'd be
in-
diving on the ground.
Oh yes. Hey, well, yeah, but the thing was bad for me was the poles because they were
Yeah.
movable.
They're
Okay.
movable.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
movable. So I would run into them. Okay.
Yeah.
Try to block somebody's shot. So that was the good times.
Those were good.
That's awesome.
Those were good.
So, but it was enjoyable. I
That's
can't
so
complain.
legendary.
Yeah, I can't complain about my life.
Thank you so much, man, for talking to us. And
Oh, my pleasure. Hey, it's
We're gonna
nice to
follow up.
like I said.
Most definitely.
Nice to see people back in Beantown.
yeah.
Don't really get a chance. Matter of fact, the guy wrote me. I haven't wrote him back. I feel bad. I think he went to. I went to Taft Junior High School. Okay,
William
which is
Taft?
right.
William Taft,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, so he wrote me, and I haven't got. I'm gonna get to him, but I procrastinate sometimes, And I'm gonna be apologetic. I say, I'm sorry, I should have reached out to you. But he played baseball there too.
Oh, cool.
So but I think I was the only Black student who played baseball.
Really?
Yeah.
So, you said your father was a cop. So
Yes.
Cecil Cox, who was a couple of years ahead of me, his father was a Boston police officer too. I think his father might have been on the force around the same time.
Yeah.
Cecil Cox, right? If you remember
Yeah.
that name. But we used to play in a baseball league in Dorchester called Northern Dorchester Upper Roxbury Baseball League. It was
Okay.
like the black inner city baseball league.
Yeah. Okay.
And so if you played baseball, that's where you had to play at Franklin Field. It was at Franklin
Oh,
Field,
yes.
right?
Franklin Field. Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Franklin
yeah.
Field. Yes.
Those
Yeah.
that was a place to be back in the day for baseball.
Oh, yes. Because I played
Yeah.
Little League.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But
And I
Michael,
had to bring my birth
Lena
certificate
Park.
with me.
Yeah.
No, I did. I had to bring when I was going, I had to bring my birth certificate for the Little League. And then when I got into
and
the
they're like,
movie-
he's not 10.
Yeah, because we're all big, man. Like,
No, my parents would be
he's
ticked
a ringer.
off because, I grew up right in Boston. So they the name was a Puritan Theater. So we went in, and this is when they had 2 movies for the price of 1. Okay, and then they used to give out prizes in the movie. Okay, if you had the ticket, they read out the ticket. You go back and get. But then, yeah. So I mean, it was. I had to bring my birth certificate for that to show them that. So I did. I had to go home.
Oh, it's so funny.
So, and then they had the the train station, the train rail up. I don't know if they don't have it there anymore.
That was
Dudley
above.
Street.
Dudley,
Yeah.
yeah, Dudley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I went back then, they took that down, boy. That looked weird.
Didn't it?
It looked
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
Because I used to sneak. I don't know about you, but we used to.
The turnstile.
When you used to go in and you go through, we used
Jump
to
right
jump
over that
those
turnstile. You
things
dog all right?
behind it to get on the train. You wouldn't-
They shut the door shut before they come
Yeah.
chase you down. Yeah.
Or you could push it and
Yep.
you could.
It fit right through it. Yeah.
We fit
Oh,
right
yeah,
through. Yeah,
boy.
I got my head stuck and then the fire department had to come. That's
like
what I say. I'm getting too
son, you'll be
big.
paying the fare today.
Yeah, I know. But we did all those crazy things,
Oh, man.
so hopping on trucks and everything else. Oh God,
But the journey you guys just described is so crazy.
Yeah.
We filmed a lot of a 2006 season of Lexington. And one morning I woke up and followed, there were, 3 kids that were coming from Boston that year.
yeah,
And it was, it's a journey. It started,
Yeah.
for me at 4:30 in the morning,
Yeah.
just with these kids. And, one of the kids, Guy Tavares, it was a situation, like you said, where it was a bus to the subway.
yeah.
Yeah.
And if you missed the bus, then you were in a situation where you had to go to Harvard and get a bus to go to the Heights, and then
Yeah.
hope someone picked you up or get walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank God for the bus passes.
That's true. That's true.
In the late bus.
Out of your pocket, boy.
Yeah, I spent my lunch money getting on that bus, so I didn't have no money for lunch when I got to school. The money was gone.
I think we all went through that. I used to go to the swimming pool. My parents used to give me money to go on the bus. All the kids would be buying food. I'm going, wait a minute, there's something wrong here. I buy food and I don't have to walk home.
Yep.
So we all went through that, about having money and not having money. So you guys getting ready to go to bed after this or what?
Yeah, on the East Coast here.
What time is it
11:30.
there?
At 45, it's like 2 hours past my bedtime.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I for me, I usually stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning. 4. No, I do. I
Because he's retired.
Yeah.
Huh?
Just watching charge videos.
You're retired. That's why.
No. I've always been that way. When I used to play pros, when I would go to New York, I'd find the arcade and probably stay there till like 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning.
What was your favorite game?
It was Space Invaders at the time.
You a record breaker on that?
I don't know if I had a record breaker, but now because I got the iPad and everything else, I'm up all night because I'm playing games all the time on these things.
So competitive.
Yeah. So
Dude, now you can be a professional gamer.
Huh?
You can be a professional gamer now. Gaming is big. It's big,
Yeah.
man.
Oh yeah, but I only like the games that you have to think, that you have to find stuff. I don't like basketball. I don't like any sports games.
Wow.
Oh.
So, but
You've
it's
been
it's
there.
that, huh?
You've been there. You've done
Yeah,
that with
yeah.
this movie.
So I figure I'm gonna get enough sleep when I pass away anyway, so I might as well just enjoy it.
Great quote. Great quote.
Oh God.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you so
Well,
much, man. You guys, Mike, any questions in closing, Mr. Maskell?
Hey, listen, I was just happy to be a part of this evening,
Well,
man.
thank you
You
for
guys,
inviting me.
thank you. Yes.
Thank
Thank
you for
you.
letting me know the what's been going on at Lexington since I left and everything else.
Yeah.
Now, did you know the girl that scored all the points? I think she scored. I wanted to get in touch, but I never did. She beat my score, I guess.
Oh, really? Oh, we'll have to find
Recently,
out.
just fairly recently. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it was like I want to say 3 or 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Anna Kelly.
What's
Yeah.
her name?
Anna Kelly. She's playing. Yeah, she's playing professionally in Ireland right now.
Wow.
Wow.
Wow. Do you?
Oh, yeah, you got to reach out to her.
Ballin'.
Well, do you guys do you know her?
Yeah, I know her. Yep.
Well, can you? Well, if you talk to her, can you please tell her first? I apologize for not getting in touch when she did it, which I really feel bad about it. And tell her I want to say congratulations.
All right, I'll connect you two.
Okay,
We're
yeah.
looking for his high
All
school
right.
girlfriend too, Danny.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Oh, we can find that one. That's easy.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
We'll Facebook that. 2 days. Give us 2 days on that one, bro. 2 days. We'll be good.
Well, what was so funny about it, because when she did it, well, she didn't know who I was. She goes, "Oh yeah." I said,
Uh-huh.
"That's okay. I just wanted to congratulate her." So it's like here, and it's so funny. People ask me, "Well, what? How are you gonna feel when somebody breaks your record here? Because it still holds in Oregon."
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. And I said, I'm not going to feel bad. It's been what? How many years? 40 years since I've been out. I said, somebody should have broke it by now. I mean, God.
What are you guys doing?
Yeah. What they're doing is they're leaving school early.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So, I mean, that's the only reason why. I think Peyton Pritchard,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Plays for the Celtics.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Is that-
I think he would have broke it if he would have stayed.
yeah.
I think if he would have, if they didn't have the COVID,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
would have broke it. Because, I mean, if you look at it, they play more games and they have the 3-point line.
Yeah, and all he does is shoot threes, like over and over again.
Yeah.
Well, that's one good. That's one good thing about COVID. Then you still have the record. So
I know that's what people. Somebody said that too. Somebody sent me a thing, said, "Ron, you should be thanking COVID. If it wasn't for the COVID, your record would have been broken by now." I said thanks.
Silver lining.
Yeah, but I mean, they got a kid who's here who's 17 years old. I think he has to be like close to 7 feet, and he's playing for Oregon. But I think he redshirt the first year. So I think if he stays for 4 years, which I doubt if he does, if he's going to be that good, then he would break it.
Yeah.
So.
And are you involved with the program still a little bit?
No, you know what? I stay away, because I don't like, I find out when people interview, you say things, it doesn't come out the way you want it.
Yeah.
So I don't really want to give my opinion, because if I give it, then they're going to go back to say, well, he said this.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not even judging your coach. I'm not doing any of your program whatsoever. They asked me a question. I gave it to them. But then they'll break it out of proportion. Right. And I said, why am I going to try to explain myself? So I just go watch the games.
Right. That's why it gets hard to find people after a while in your situation, because like, no, I don't want to talk to anybody. I want to give an interview. You misconstrue. I'm going to stay on the low.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's somebody interviewed me and telling me, and all of a sudden it's like, well, he's having bad times. He needs a job. I said, who told you that? I said, and that's what they stuck there. I said, well, okay, I'm not doing that anymore. So like I said, they said, what kind of exercise you do? I said, I go one side to the other. I said, since I'm retired, I don't have to. It's a nice feeling, believe me. So, but
oh man, well, this is great.
Huh?
No, this was great. And Mike, thank you, Mike Maskell. Great story starting it off with Ronnie coming to meet you guys when he was playing in the NBA. And you were in high school. That is cool.
Hey, anything I could do to help.
Awesome.
Okay, except to come near the coach, because I can't do that.
That's where we need you.
Yeah.
You know, everything goes in trends, you know.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
like the
Ron,
bell bottoms.
we might have to dust off the lens and come out there and just sit down with you and put a camera in front of you out there. I think that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. We come to you.
It would be like Sweden. If you did that, you might not live here. It's
Hey,
nice and,
hey, you know,
it's nice
I'm
and
gonna
green
change this.
here. You
life
got the
comes in
mountains.
chapters. Life comes in chapters.
Yeah, well, you guys like fishing?
Yeah, of
Oh, they
course.
got
Yeah,
some.
we like
They
fish.
got some good fishing here. Oh my God! You know,
Boom.
I
That's what
caught 2
that's
years.
what we'll film.
Just the ones that bite.
Oh yeah. Well, I caught a salmon. Ooh, it was huge.
Oh, nice.
First, yes. And
If we
so
can
I
catch
told my.
salmon, that's great.
Oh
We can
yeah.
grill that right away.
Well, so I called up my wife and I said, "Hey, hon," I said, "hope you don't get mad, but I had the best piece of tail of my life. I bet my life." And then she goes, "What do you mean by that?" I said, "Oh, I just said I had a good piece of tail. That's all."
Don't be so defensive.
Yeah, I know. I said, "If you can't trust me, who can you trust?"
Yeah, let's fish for some salmon in Oregon. That sounds amazing.
Oh yeah. Well, people hike here. I don't like hiking. I don't like hiking. I've been in a forest before. A bear came and took it. I'm a city person. Okay, so if I want to see animals, like I say, I look at National Geographic.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go. There you go.
Yeah, it's always on.
You know, coming from the city. Oh no.
Yeah. You just have to be faster than the person with you.
Oh yes. Well, once again, thank you guys. This was really fun for me.
Awesome.
You
Awesome.
know,
So
it really is. You know, so see how old we're getting, huh?
There we are.
man, we appreciate it so much. You have no idea.
Well, we can always tell by the whiteness of our beards, huh?
Yeah, man. Oh, no. You can't hide it. Can't hide it. Can't hide it. I
Well-
tried dyeing this crap too, man. It didn't work. That crap that
Not
they
worth
sell,
it.
it didn't work.
Yeah, but see, I went
Beijing.
the other way. I'm all black here, but so I just put the white here so I can do it.
There you go.
I have the gray coming into my armpits now. So
Oh,
yeah, I'm like, damn, at
We
45, I feel like that's early. Yeah.
Well, I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to say it.
Don't say it.
You're talking about the white underneath the arms. Wait till you get it. You go, damn, I didn't get white down there too. You know, but hey, we worked for it though, guys.
Yeah,
We worked for this.
Right, man.
I wouldn't have any other way. So
Defense is the best. And you know, one thing with basketball is that is because you were saying you didn't have the skill set of King Gaskins, of Ball these guys, but you could make an impact in these other ways just because you wanted to, not because you were A, B, and C. You were like defense is something, rebounding, taking the charge. That's something anybody can do if they want to. You know, people don't want to dive on the ground, but that's how you get the ball back really quickly.
Yes. No, you like you said, you'll get some exceptional people who will enjoy that. Which,
Yeah.
And I said, if you could play defense, basically, if you could play defense, you're going to get a lot of time. It says it doesn't make any difference who starts the game, who ends the game. I always say, you know, I said, if you're in there with crunch time, then you must be doing something right.
And then the other thing, you said you were diving on the concrete and someone saw you. What was that early story you told us?
Yeah, Coach Harder, yeah.
Yeah.
We went to the basketball camps and stayed in those cabins, which you had to go outside to go to the bathroom and stuff. Oh God, you know, that was a good time. Huh?
New noises at night.
Oh yes, oh yeah. That's another story. That's, you know, I think the parents did that just to get rid of us.
Yes.
You know, so
seems
like
it.
All right then. Well, thank you guys.
All right, Riley.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you,
Awesome.
legend.
Happy Sunday.
Thank you.
My man.
Hopefully, when I get to Lexington, we can get together.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wonderful.
We'll be in touch, my man. Appreciate
Okay,
it
for
so
sure.
much.
Most
All right.
definitely.
Have a nice
you.
week.
You too.
Okay.
Yes,
Stay gold.
yes,
Good
you
night,
too.
gentlemen.
All right. Okay.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
sir. All right.
Bye-bye.